headphones, and I
then
thought
you
it was
licked it
kind of
off,
hot.
and you were like,
And I lick it off.
You're like, ah.
Yeah, I'm about to say, honestly, that's
And
kind
then
of a
you
move.
went and sat on the toilet and touched
We're
it.
live. I did not do that.
After Ruby Rose came, I definitely wanted to lick the seat.
Have you ever
Pretty sure you
sniffed the
did.
seat and had it work? Like you actually got a nice scent, Laura? Shh. Have you ever sniffed a scent or like
Sniffed a
sniffed
seat?
anything? Because I definitely remember like being young and like having like a girl leave her underwear at my house and having to give it a whiff and then like being
You're
like,
weird.
overwhelmed by the vagina aroma.
The vagina aroma. We sound hella clear today. I don't know why.
It sounds good.
That sounds very clear.
That's good to hear because when I was just interviewing Bandman Kevo, I was kind of feeling like the sound sort of sounded weird for
It's
a little bit.
It's turned up now.
Okay.
But no, I've definitely I've had like some bitch sleep in my bed and then smelled like Victoria's Secret apricot body spray afterwards.
I remember the first time I slept with a black woman, I just kept smelling the bed. Because her like aroma of whatever kind of oils
Why do you have
and
to
shit.
always make shit weird and like?
Isn't that weird? This is a weird.
What?
It's a conversation
I know, but,
about
like,
smelling underwear.
You always have to bring in like something like black. Like, I remember the first time.
Wait,
I met
what
a
did she?
black person.
What did she smell like?
Well, I now understand
God,
it
I
to be
remember the-
cocoa butter.
Oh my god! The first time I saw a black person put on lotion, I was like, "Wow!"
You're like, what the fuck?
I'm
Shut
pretty
the
sure
fuck
that was
up.
the last episode. Hall monitor Kim stepping it up right here, right away.
Wait, hold on,
But
so-
you realize that insanity is But wait, before we get into that, can I just say one thing? This is my favorite Fashion Nova hoodie that I've ever favorite Fashion Nova item I've ever got from them. As you can see, we have some sort of distressed gray here on the sleeve with this cool snake in red screen printed onto it.
With the red drawstrings coming out of the.
Kind of more of like a big relaxed fit, something real cozy that I could just sort of shove my hands in and just relax and maybe take a walk on the wild side.
I love things that are big that I could shove my hands in.
Well, Fashion Nova has a ton of stuff that if you want to just sort of shove your hand into
I think they need to give me an ad
a
deal.
nice cozy pocket. No, I think they probably would love to. I got to hook you up with my connect.
I'm known for like my drip, obviously.
Right.
Like, shout out to the foundation company or something. The foundation something for this jersey.
Foundation Nova?
Shout out to Lord.
Foundation Nova.
Shout out to
You know what I'm
God.
saying? I'm known for the drip. Stop
I
playing.
honestly believe that God gave me this Fashion Nova today. But what were you just going to say?
I was just saying that I think that I'm known for my drip in some capacity.
No, but there was something that you were saying before I rudely interrupted and started talking about my Fashion Nova and how much I love it.
Just that like you had no idea like what cocoa butter smelled like until some black woman laid in your bed.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, I remember like calling my friends and telling them about it too, and they were like, "Man, it's crazy that you're like this new."
You called your black friends and told them, or you called your white homies and told them?
No, my white friends know.
Maybe they slept with some black girls before you did.
I don't know. I feel
Maybe
like
they beat you to it.
I felt like I was pioneering it at the time because that was like a little new to me at the time. It's when you're young. Like I'm very. Can I just communicate the fact that I'm in an emotional state because I just went through like 10 videotapes of high school Adam. And so I'm like,
That brings me back.
I found all these old ass tapes in
he's so old, he had to find
plastic bag,
tapes.
from my video camera in high school.
I can just go on Facebook and go look at mine.
And then I took those tapes and I fucking brought them to this really cool store where they fucking take it and they send you a Dropbox link of all your fucking tapes. And I'm watching it. And okay, there's footage of me and like my high school girlfriend, and she's like crying, talking about how she doesn't know what she's gonna do after high school, and like what it's like it's crazy, like seeing this shit, and like me and her just sort of like hanging out, all the BMX clips obviously were great to see, but like man, so much weird shit. Me and my friends just like wrestling in high school, and for some reason like somebody just started filming it like on some straight jackass shit.
Like you found this at like your parents' house or some shit?
No, I found it. I've had it like in
Your
my
place has it?
apartment or like wherever I've lived for like my entire life, but I just have always just had this bag of tapes.
Where the fuck did you find a like a VHS thing to plug?
No,
in?
I
just said he
fucking
took it to a
there was
store.
a dude down the street, and I actually like went in and like gave it to them, and
They like digitalized it.
Yeah, I paid him like $180.
That sounds like a lot of money for that.
Nah, it's like $18 a tape.
Okay, that makes sense.
What were you filming on? Like those
Yeah.
like mom thingies?
Big ass ugly camera that you like put a fucking videotape in and shit.
Yeah, I remember I logged into like my photo bucket.
Oh
very
my
recently.
God.
Holy
My photo
fuck.
bucket
This
is-
shit is crazy.
I
People asking
wonder
people
if
to
it exists.
prom and like in the Sadie Hawkins fucking limousine
no,
and shit
really?
like that. I was
I
like,
would
oh,
love
wow.
to see your photo bucket from high school. That would be really funny, actually.
It's just really random and like stupid and like everyone, like when you go to school and you just take stupid pictures of all your friends and like take pictures with the teachers and it's just stupid shit like that.
I lived on my photo bucket for a period of time in my life. Even when Twitter came out, it was still like upload a photo to photo bucket and then link to it on
Yes,
Twitter,
that was-
because in the beginning of
remember
Twitter,
that.
you couldn't upload an image. There was no images.
It was like tweet
What?
image
Yeah,
or
that's-
something
that's-
like that. I
and
remember that.
That's crazy.
Twit
Twit
pic.
pic.
Like,
Twit pic.
there's
pic.
definitely a bunch of rap songs out there where the rapper is saying like, "Send me a twit pic," which like probably wasn't something that anybody was saying like a year later, but there was
Yeah.
like a brief period where that was a thing.
I'm gonna go on Genius and type in twit pic actually now, because that's crazy.
No, but isn't that
No, I mean, like, now that I think about it, it's some.
No, but
some
that song, like, Shorty sent a twit pic, told me come and get this. LOL smiley. But is he saying twit pic?
He probably said
Probably.
that, but what song is this? I don't even know.
LOL
LOL
smiley face by
face.
Soulja Boy.
Oh, because Soulja Boy was like the
God of social
Pioneer.
media
Of
early
internet,
on, yes.
yeah.
pioneer of Twitter.
Speaking of Twitter, don't they have stories now?
Yeah, I saw
I've
that.
never. I don't think.
Fleets.
Do I have to update
Fleets.
the app to see that? Because I don't think I've seen it yet. And
I
are you
don't
gonna
know.
It
use
should
it?
just be at the top.
I use it because I
I
already
think I've
film
updated
shit
it.
in Snapchat and then I post it to my Instagram story. And then if I remember and I'm like looking at Twitter, like if I see that I don't have any fleets, I'll like occasionally just hit it and add a bunch of stuff to it, especially promotional stuff. But then I also try to put stuff that people would actually like so that people want to look at my fleets. But like,
Yeah, you got to fleet it up sometimes.
okay, let's put this in perspective. My Snapchat usually gets like a couple 100,000 views. My Instagram story gets maybe 80,000 views. And then my fleets get like
20,000.
20, 30,000. Good guess. But yeah. So
Too
I mean,
many, and then fucking
it's just
YouTube.
annoying, yeah.
YouTube has
Oh,
it
God.
too.
Yo,
and
God,
I'm just
YouTube's like,
I've pretty much decided that I'm not a YouTube story guy. Can you
shit's
view
so
the views
stupid.
on there though? Because I would
I've
be
never
interested.
posted one.
I've posted it a few times when I'm like really thirsty, like, oh, I got to get this video some views. I'll just like get on the YouTube story and be like, hey,
Yeah,
Oh my
watch
gosh,
this
check
video.
out my Brian Pumper video,
Yeah, exactly.
guys.
I probably did it for that. To be
Brian
totally
Pumper
honest.
video dropping tomorrow.
No.
Baby video dropping.
No. We just dropped. That's a good point too. But no, we just dropped the On Some Shit BMX video from our trip to San Francisco. So that is on the On Some Shit
Oh, nice.
YouTube channel, which is what we turned the Come Up BMX YouTube into. So if you go on YouTube and just search On Some Shit, you can watch the 7-minute video from our time in San Francisco. Appreciate it.
The most recent one when some guy was getting arrested and he noticed you, right?
The killer. Yeah.
He
The
murdered,
shooter.
He murdered somebody?
No, but he was the shooter. The
That's
the
fire.
cop referred to him as the shooter, and he knew who I was. So that was pretty
The
exciting.
cop was like, why do you know the shooter?
Why does the shooter know you? Are you down with this dude's gang?
Yeah, exactly.
That was very much the vibe.
What's up? How was your guys' weekend? What'd you guys do?
I have an important announcement. My baby's umbilical cord fell off today.
That's fire.
I thought you were supposed to like cut that shit off when
You cut it off,
You
but
do.
then there's like a little piece left.
But when I was gonna cut it, I'm thinking that I'm gonna be cutting it right next to the belly button.
I thought
but
too.
No, you
Oh,
cut
you
it like a
cut
couple
it
inches
and then it
out,
falls off?
and then it shrivels up mad
Ew.
fast, and then it just slowly, like, it's so weird because you're looking at your like week old baby, and they're so angelic and beautiful looking to you, but then they have this big crusty ball on their belly button.
Question.
Yeah.
So then, how does it decide if it's an innie or outie? Because I thought it's
don't know.
depending on the cut,
Oh, I don't know.
I think it depends on how it falls out, right?
how it shrivels
It's-
up and falls out.
mystery at that point. Like, you don't know.
Oh, you
No
don't
way.
know.
Wow, I'm so blessed.
I
have a
believe it's an
beautiful
innie.
belly
I
button.
honestly was rushing out the door as this thing was coming off, so I didn't really get a good look at
Are
whatever.
you gonna save the chunks and put in like some like balm?
I don't know
to
if
preserve
Lena
it?
has
Bomb.
saved the chunks. If she wants to save the chunks, I know
I
that
feel
she.
like you guys would.
She had her placenta turned into like pills and shit. I believe.
What does a placenta pill do?
They're like good for you or some shit.
I don't know.
Are you
To
gonna
be
drink
hon-
her breast milk?
Honestly, it seems like it's pretty in demand. The baby's guzzling every last
You
drop
gotta
of
try it at least. Come on, bro.
I mean, I guess
Get
Mix
up
it
in
in
there.
some
Get up
coffee.
in there, bro.
I'm really not that curious about it, but also it just seems like the baby really needs that shit. Like,
More than you.
I mean, this is the only thing that she's existing off of, and
That's a fact.
It's
But
so in demand.
She got 2 titties.
Yeah, and that was a weird realization for her. I think was that she was feeding the baby with one, and the other one started pouring milk, and
You
she
coulda-
didn't notice.
you
It took
coulda
her a
just
while
been
to
like-
notice. I'm usually sleeping. Like she wakes up. That's what's so fucked up about like the fairness of like a mom and a dad is that we fall asleep. And then she's got to wake up 3 hours later and sit there for a half hour and feed the baby. And then like she doesn't bother to like wake me up because it's like what the fuck, like there's nothing for me to do. But it's like no matter what, her sleep's getting interrupted on a very regular schedule.
Yeah, so it's basically unfair to be a mom, basically.
Oh, it's super
It's
unfair.
unfair to be a woman.
But people told me that like it gets a lot more fair as the kid becomes less dependent on the boob milk and everything, because then all of a sudden it's like they're an actual person, so you can
And then
You can, like,
split
feed
the
her.
work
can't
up.
you pump it into like
Yeah.
jars and shit, and then you could wake up and feed her?
And you
We'd be
could wake
doing
up-
that sometimes too.
We be doing
Doubt
that.
it. You're
be-
sleeping.
We've done a little bit of it. I'll
Just like
feed her.
when Lena like fixed the fucking leak in your house or some shit, and you were sleeping through it. I'm sure this is gonna be the same
She-
shit with the
There was
baby.
a leak.
I don't know. She
Whatever
like,
you said.
She like repaired some shit in the crib, and you
were just sleeping through it.
Oh yeah, Lena's the man of the house. It's fucked up.
She's a man of the
It's
She like
relationship.
cleaned. You had like a dead raccoon in the gutter or something. And she like cleaned it out.
If there was a dead raccoon in the gutter, I'm just saying she would take it upon herself to like. Well, I don't know. Maybe she would tell me to go get it, but I feel like that's kind of dramatic. Like maybe we would call like
Call somebody
I
to
mean,
do
we
that.
have maintenance people that come through once a week. Like I feel like if there's a, but I also don't want to deal with a dead raccoon stench for a fucking week.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
That
A
was
dead
suck.
anything.
When I found that dead squirrel, it was
Oh, how sad.
insane.
R.I.P. all my squirrel niggas out there.
R.I.P. Bagel.
Who's that?
Bagel
Oh,
boss?
No, AD. He hit a dog in his car and killed it.
Whoa.
That is really sad.
And the dog was named Bagel. And
How does he
How
know
does he
that
know
the
the
dog?
name?
Because he
It
got
had-
out
he
of the
had, like,
car
the
and he
collar.
looks
Looked at the collar?
The eyeballs are shot out of the dog's head and shit.
That's so
and,
graphic. I
And
hate
he's
that.
like, and the owner's flipping out. The owner's like, "You killed Bagel," and AD's just like, "I'm so sorry." And but like then
Damn.
it's like a joke on his stream and everything now, where he's always just like, "R.I.P. Bagel, Bagel, no." That's his quote. He always says.
That's so.
What can you do if
What do you do
someone
with that?
runs over your pet? You can't really do anything, right?
Can you like sue them or something?
I think that the owner
For, like,
didn't have it on a
emotional-
leash. I mean, if
Well,
you
that's
had
kinda-
if you have it on a leash and you don't pull it out of traffic, then it's really on you.
It's kind of your fault, but also.
Or what if the dog just like ran out of the house unsuspectingly?
Either way, I mean, you can't really
That's
blame.
what happened.
You can't blame the
I
person
saw-
who hits him.
I saw a dog get hit like kind of close to my house, and then like everyone had to clear the street, and like some people had to like wrap the dog and like put it. It was really sad. It was so sad. And then the girl that like did the.
The seance.
I don't know if she did a seance.
Seance.
She's the
To speak
murderer,
to the
the
dead
murderer
dog.
of the dog. She like pulled off into like I don't know. She didn't hit and run though. Like her boyfriend came out and like helped.
Oh, I thought you said she hit and run and got
She
on.
was. I think she wanted to. I don't.
I mean, if she wasn't with her boyfriend.
I think she would have hit and ran.
We all know women are evil, and that men are the only reason that men are the only thread that keep women sane. So if her boyfriend wasn't there, she would have drove away for sure.
Yeah, if the world was all women, then there would just all the dogs would be dead. Women would just be hitting all the dogs.
I don't subscribe to this.
You know.
No, not at all.
Like
Speaking
and
of subscribe to my YouTube channel, dropping soon.
You're gonna say
But it's not out yet, and you already want them to
No,
subscribe to it.
no. I have a YouTube already, but I'm about to start dropping content
Ooh.
on there.
Subscribe to me.
What are you gonna
at
do?
Camgirl.
Vlogs, streetwear content,
Ooh,
and just me and bitches.
He's really
Talk
like
to him.
fuck no jumper.
talk to him. Hey man,
Adam.
you got to do it. Everybody's a content creator these days. It's
Got
not
to.
like you can't even look at it like he's doing content.
I'm
Like I'm
joking.
supposed to be the only one doing content. You
I
know,
don't
it's
know.
like it's impossible these days. Like
It's
even,
like if you aren't, you're kind of
bro.
Yeah, you're stupid if you aren't. If
Okay,
you aren't.
what I was just saying though, like how fucking my day has been very much influenced by watching all these videos of me from high school and just like thinking about me as a fucking 17-year-old. Also, my day has been colored by the fact that I just interviewed Bandman Kevo, who is now making like many hundreds of thousands of dollars a month off of OnlyFans from giving out financial advice and like
That's
talking
fire.
to
I love
people
that.
about how to fix their credit. I assume that he was just on there giving out scammer info since he literally went to prison for scamming. But he said that it's not really that, and it's like he's just helping the people.
He
And
could-
it's $50 a month.
He could
That's a lot.
he could be rewording it as financial advice.
Yeah, because I think some of it might be like he's telling you how not to get scammed, but then he's also like basically explaining the entire scam.
So you could do whatever you want with that information.
I think it might be a little bit of that, but it sounds like it's mostly on the up and up. He said that like people
I love
also
that.
people pay him $150 for a 10-minute phone call, and he said he's got like a line out the fucking wazoo to
10-minute phone call about what?
To explain
whatever.
whatever they want to talk to him about. And he says he has people come back and do it a couple times in a row sometimes. I'm
That's
kind of
honestly-
thinking like, what?
That's honestly super fire.
I need to do some 10-minute phone calls for
Yeah, but,
$150.
like-
Can I put that on the
Definitely run
website?
But then, like, what is going to be the thing that drives the people to call you for 10 minutes?
I don't know.
They're gonna like play their SoundCloud song over the fucking speakerphone.
Well, because he's trying to convince me that I should do OnlyFans that's full of like advice on how to become a YouTuber, and I was kind of thinking also like Lena could definitely do this, giving advice on how to be a OnlyFans girl, how to be an influencer, whatever. Like if we were to really, because he said that he has a course that he's putting out that's going to be like even more in depth than what he normally does on OnlyFans, like a full course.
Yeah,
interesting.
This is my question though. Like when people ask you shit like that, how do you? Okay, because me and Duno, who's very popular on TikTok and stuff like that, we just started this new show here on No Jumper,
right?
Where we like we give people advice and shit like that. But it's like when it comes to career and shit like that, how do you like cultivate an answer for someone, because it kind of works differently for everyone.
Right. And that's what I think is interesting about it, is that if I were going to like actually do an honest effort on creating a course, it would force me to then take those questions that everybody fucking asks me and take them seriously and think like, okay, like what is all the information that I could compile that would actually help somebody out in that regard? Because that's one thing that I really took away from that Rio the Young OG interview, is when he's talking about meeting Peasy and Peasy driving around with him and showing him his checks from fucking streaming services and picking up feature money and stuff, and how I'm just picturing like a young Rio sitting there having his mind blown,
like he's making this much money off of rap music.
This is how you make money being a rapper, because like everybody knows rappers make money, but if you don't see it straight up in your face,
you
would never know.
So I feel like in a lot of ways, like there is value to be given in that sense, like if you were to really try to teach people that stuff. But I would have to like, because normally I just don't really like if people ask me like how do I start a podcast, I'm just kind of like,
it's just like, what?
Like use your fucking head, like you fucking go, you look for a mic. People always ask me like how do you, like what kind of mic should I get, and I tell them what I did, which I went on YouTube. No, but I searched best mic for podcasting. And then I watched videos for maybe 45 minutes. I watched videos, and like literally people made videos that were like, here's a good $20 mic, here's a good $40 mic, here's a good $60 mic.
So you can literally find in your your bracket.
I mean, that information is so easy. But if you think about the thing with Bandman Kevo, the information he's giving away it's not that out of the ordinary, because there's a million white dudes in suits who are trying to tell you how to fix your credit. He's just a cool ass black rapper with a chain who's giving you that information in a way that, like realistically, if they're a fan of him or if they just see him as sort of like them, they're way more likely to want to engage with him, So that kind of does make sense to me.
It's interesting hearing this, because like it's so the opposite of what like Gary Vee preaches about. Like,
what does Gary Vee preach?
Just like providing
financial literacy,
providing value and like not trying to charge for it. And so
that's the crazy thing, is that you really have to do both, because with him, like Bandman Kevo, he's somebody who had the realization from doing a Vlad interview and doing a Say Cheese interview or doing a No Jumper interview that every time he told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it sounds like it could be true. He said that he did a Say Cheese interview and he made so much money that month off his OnlyFans, and that was really the only promo he did for it, that he sent Sean Cotton $20,000.
God damn.
Because he was basically saying that he was going to do the same thing to me or whatever, which I don't expect that or really care if he does that. But I mean, it kind of makes sense, because if you're charging $50 for your OnlyFans and you do an interview with him that gets 1 million views, it's like, I mean,
they kept pushing that on my fucking.
You only need 1% of that shit to fucking do it. And you know what he does too is he buys the Facebook and Instagram ads, which is something that I've kind of always avoided myself, but it's definitely the future.
If you're selling merch and shit, or like if you're selling clothes and shit, that's the way to go.
If you're selling something that's a direct to consumer, it's like the best fucking way to get the return on investment. It's
you
crazy.
just have to be able to, like, the thing that you're selling through that advertisement has to be like something that has really good margins, because like if you're just trying to like grow a YouTube channel and you're buying YouTube ads, it's like you don't make that much money off YouTube, so it doesn't really make that much sense. But if you're selling something like a $50 a month OnlyFans, or think about all the people who run those ads, like there's some fucking jewelry company that's on my
Tracks NYC probably.
No, it's some fucking.
He's on my fucking timeline every day. Shout out to him.
Chrome Hearts. Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's also in that movie.
He's in the movie.
And fucking Uncut Gems. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he got that movie role by his.
But there's always different jewelry companies that you see on Facebook because they're selling something that's relatively inexpensive to make, has a high ass margin, and you can just buy mad advertising. And it's, I mean, think about something like Ty Lopez. Like
Yeah.
we
What
all
happened
know
to
who
that
Ty
guy?
Lopez is because he bought those fucking YouTube pre-roll ads for millions of years and was basically trying to upsell you on some fucking business course or some shit.
So he's like the original Bandman Kevo.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I mean,
I've never heard one of his
I have
songs ever
YouTube
in my life.
Premium now, but before when I didn't have it, I kept getting these fucking ads to start like an Amazon seller's account.
Oh, like a drop shipping type thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
See,
it
that's
was
what
like it was every single YouTube.
I miss out
video.
because I have YouTube Premium. I pay the $20 a month, so I don't know what any of the ads are on
you're missing
YouTube,
out.
which is a shame
know
because they would
any
probably
anymore.
give me a lot of ideas and stuff when I'm seeing other people do it.
They're pretty fucking stupid in my opinion.
Honestly,
Sorry.
it's a nightmare using YouTube when you're not logged in these days. They'll show you like 3 ads before a video. It's basically like, give us all your fucking time to watch these ads, or we're never gonna let you watch a video on here. So you better
What
sign
is that?
up.
An Apple Watch?
This is a Whoop.
Okay.
A Whoop?
A Whoop. I just found out about
The
it.
fuck
Well,
is it?
actually, Lena bought it for me for my
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
And
Is it for like old people?
It tracks your sleep and it tracks your workouts.
But what? There's no
kinda like
face,
Fit-
no
it's kinda like
nothing.
Fitbit.
Well, I have an app on my phone that tells me like when I do a workout, I just like set it. It tells me like basically like how my workout went and like it tracks your sleep. If you sometimes I feel like I
cool.
slept for 8 hours and then it'll tell me like no, you slept for like 5.5 hours. But more often than not, I'm amazed about how good of a sleep I'm getting because I'm getting like really really good deep REM sleep, REM sleep, whatever. I don't want to talk about REM the band, but yeah. So it's tracking all this stuff.
While Lena's up, one titty out, feeding the baby at like 4
One titty
a.m.
out.
I'm surprised
Oh,
how much
man, that's
good sleep I'm getting.
But you know what's funny is when the baby is like when you're holding the baby and it starts trying to suck your nipple and you're like no.
You're like, no, hold on.
Does your baby bite her nipple?
Do you have to have your
My
shirt
mom
on?
told me
Yeah.
that my brother would bite her nipple.
I
all
hear
the time.
Lena yelp out in
I was
pain
like, that
occasionally.
sounds fucking painful,
you-
especially when teeth come in.
Do you have to wear a shirt when you hold the baby so it doesn't suck your titty?
That would be one way to avoid it, but they tell you that you got to do skin to skin with your kid. Like you really need your kid
Aw.
to be on your skin, and that will create like a hormonal connection with your kid. I haven't really been doing it that much to be honest, but
In Korean, it's called skinship.
like friendship.
Yeah,
What
skinship.
the fuck? What will they think of next? Holy shit!
Wait, speaking of Asian things,
Oh
I
God.
was
Here he
trying
goes
to order
again.
clothes online from this fucking Japanese Yahoo website, and I was like, I can't. What like it was like the whole page, so I couldn't translate. I couldn't like copy and paste every word to
You don't have
translate
the
it.
thing that says like it's like the Google Translator.
I don't know, but just know I almost called you. Then I was like, dude, she's not
I'm not
Japanese. Yeah, no,
Japanese,
I had to think about it. I was like,
It's gotta be
she's-
pretty close though, right?
Yeah, they all look the same, right?
Just kidding.
They look the same.
yeah, but just know I figured it out. But Kim, you were one call away. I was like, I'm about to call Kim. She could help me figure this out.
Have you ever like had to use Google Translate in any sort of serious fashion? Because
No.
I've
Yes.
heard about dudes
It's
going
horrible.
to other countries, meeting girls, and like courting them, having sex with them, etc. Fully off the Google Translate. Like don't speak the same language at all, and they're just going back and forth on that all night. Sounds terrible, but
That sounds
also
crazy.
amazing if they could actually.
Wait, so what? Like you have your phone out? Like okay,
It's like
I've never used it.
You're a girl I meet, and
you're
I'm like-
both going like this,
and I'm like, and then showing
Or
you.
you could talk
that's
into it too. I
exactly.
could be like, how long is your hair? Like it says how long is your hair in Korean.
It's like-
on the screen.
Would you like to come back to my hotel and have sex with me?
Do you want to come to my hotel?
Maybe I can give you my room key.
I love that
Feeling
song.
the way you say yourself, girl. And I want to give it you because you a cutie. So if you want to come to my hotel, all you got to do. Okay, we about to get like.
I was worried about singing that part because I didn't feel like I was going to be able to sing much more of the song.
I
but
got
you
you.
totally
I got
handled
you.
it.
I got you.
I
That's
love that
amazing.
song.
That's when fucking Cassidy used to be wearing like the 4X jerseys. Mm-hmm. Cassidy was the nigga, bro.
He was.
Who
on
was he
fire.
beefing with at the time that was like,
Freeway?
fuck, he's
When
beefing
they
with
rapped
hella
against
niggas.
each other
Oh,
and
man.
shit, and they had that whole fucking thing. That was a great time where fucking Swizz Beatz and Jay-Z
Mm-hmm.
just brought their young bulls together to freestyle at each other on the radio.
Yeah.
You would like we talk about the versus battles like it changed everything. Well, it is totally different because it's already like recorded songs, but I mean, we need to bring that back.
Yeah.
I want to see Ian Dior.
Versus 24K Golden.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're
Freestyle
like best
battle.
friends, though. We need some degree of animosity.
Oh, they need
like-
some animosity?
I don't know. They got to be like people who don't like
This
each
is
other.
I don't know, Lil Mosey or something.
But Lil Mosey's an OG compared to Ian Dior. Ian
Okay.
Dior is like much newer in the game. I feel
Is
like
it him and Taz Taylor? Like they're always
We
beefing?
need him to beef with
Ian Dior and Taz.
Or like weren't they?
I
Didn't
don't
they
know.
have like some kind of friction?
Yeah, I mean, Ian Dior was like an internet money
Well, yeah, he was
kid,
signed
and
to
then
them, right?
dipped off at some point. I'm
They
pretty
should
sure.
freestyle against each other.
Him and Taz Taylor.
Imagine Taz Taylor pulling up with one of his little guys and just like making him rap against, I don't know.
So, like,
Speaking of
Cole
people
Bennett's
rapping
guy?
against each other,
The Holiday versus
did you guys
fucking,
listen
I don't
to
know.
Kelsey Nicole's?
Yes, and I slid in her
Banger.
DMs. Kelsey Nicole, how you doing out there?
Who is this? What is
Okay,
this?
this is actually the mask that Black Zach gave me.
It's like a Lloyd Banks logo on some.
I am from the 603, not the 803. But this is not a bad mask. It was actually kind of
I
comfortable.
didn't know if people were already wearing. I'm like, oh, why am I touching this? Those ones are very comfortable.
Okay,
in
all right,
terms
let's-
of masks.
let's
Okay,
Kelsey
stay-
Nicole,
sorry.
Let's
how'd you
stay
like the
on
song?
subject.
On subject. Okay,
Kim just, whose mask is this?
Because
Also,
I
how's
was just,
phone?
like,
Your phone
touching
is
all
making
of it.
noises.
That was not my phone.
that was not my phone.
That wasn't my phone.
Had to be
Look.
someone's phone because. it
Anyway,
wasn't
go
mine.
ahead.
Okay. You heard the song, Kelsey Nicole. She came out. She was the
Was it
only,
bussin'?
the only person who was there at the time of the Tory Lanez incident.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she says some interesting lines. Like she says, like, you know who really shot you. She
She
says some
said
like
your
weird
back
shit.
was turned, but you know who really hurt you.
Yeah. That was it right
No,
there.
the
So is she
Craziest part-
insinuating that like
I don't know what it's very unclear because she doesn't seem to be saying like Tory Lanez didn't do it, but she sort of seems to be muddying the waters a little bit more.
I mean, she just
Is
said
Meg-
it's not me.
is Meg basically just like saying like I'm not fucking with both of y'all because I don't know
Meg
what's
doesn't
going
fuck
on.
with either of them. They both
I-
had their fallouts.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
think
like
she doesn't fuck with either of them either. I think no one fucks with
No one
anybody.
fucks
else.
Kelsey
with
doesn't
anyone.
fuck with Tory anymore.
I'm so
It
over
doesn't
this
seem
story.
like it,
I'm gonna be
like, I'm
honest.
That's
Very,
the problem.
very-
I feel like there's information fatigue. So one thing that
Yeah.
I noticed was that
It's
I like that.
everything but
Meg
like
said
that
that she
information
had
fatigue.
that diss ready right after the shooting and she saved it for her album. I'm going to be honest with you, to the extent that I could comment on this, huge tactical error because letting that much time go by has allowed everybody to become fucking bored and it allowed like enough leeway for people if they want to believe that Tori is like kind of like not necessarily 100% in the wrong. It's kind of felt like she opened the door by leaving so much time for people to sort of believe that. I feel like that song would have hit so hard if
Yeah.
she dropped that
Right
as a
after.
single at that time.
And then if-
instead, like people were bored. Like nobody talked about that song in comparison to what you would expect.
And wasn't it the intro to her new
Yes.
Her
album?
new album, yeah. The craziest thing is like, I just learned that even like the like woman tea channels are kind of turning against Megan.
you think?
What?
I know. I watched a bunch of videos. I watched like a 40-minute video on like why Kelsey's like in the right and like Megan's like.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Wow.
It's kind of crazy. Shout out to Lovely Tea.
I hate that though. I
Yeah,
feel
I don't
like
like that
Feel
either.
bad.
like why does it
How
seem
did she get
like
hurt and
Meg
then-
has kind of become like the person that people are looking to hate on in this whole thing? But I also feel like the mainstream world, like the magazines and like the
Oh,
fucking
they
award
love-
shows and shit,
Oh, yeah,
they're
she's kid-
worshiping her. But I think that's part of the problem is that I don't think that
Yeah.
that much of the hip hop world is really concerned about her album. But then, meanwhile, she's getting all this praise from like more mainstream corporate type things.
GQ, Rapper of the
exactly,
Year.
American Music Awards, whatever. And I feel
Yeah.
like that in hip hop is a very bad thing to be getting a ton of attention from the mainstream and then not necessarily connecting with your base. I don't like that to me. Like from a perspective of if I worked at that label, that album was so not it that I was just like concerned. I was like, bro, this is not the album that I wanted to see Meg make right now. And I don't think like that. A lot of people, I think a lot of people would agree with that. That like it just wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I could listen to it again and feel a little different. But it seemed like the sentiment was like overwhelmingly not that excited about it.
I still think that body song is.
I
Gonna
was
probably
just
go
about to
crazy,
say
though.
that, 'cause
it's
I've-
gonna go crazy, just like how we didn't expect Savage to go as
Bro,
wild.
I've been on my Instagram story
I cannot-
seeing that fucking song.
yeah,
Everybody,
Holy fuck.
I'm like, oh my fuck, I can't get away from it.
But do
can't
you
get away
like
from
it,
it.
or do you feel like it's more viral
Just
as like
no.
annoying? Like Savage went viral, but it was a whole dance and it
They have
sounded
a
like
whole dance.
music.
They
Yeah,
have a
for
whole
sure.
I feel
dance.
like the yada 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 thing is like annoying. Like that's why
pretty
it's
annoying.
viral. It's like an annoying sound. I couldn't imagine people listening to that on the radio still in a week or two.
imagine just seeing some ass clapping to that song. Boom, that's all you need.
They have a whole challenge dance already.
But to
People
put
are
it in
doing.
perspective,
Body, yada, yada.
remember when I
ass
told the
cheeks.
story about AD and Blueface's homie almost getting into it outside of the mansion?
How are you about to relate this? I want to know.
This gangster dude, who I will remain nameless, I
Love
saw
the-
him
love the
post a
song.
clip to Body Yaddy Yaddy, and he was dancing his ass off.
He was dancing.
I mean,
What, in the way that... Never mind.
he was doing it in a funny way, kind of.
Yeah, that's
But it
hilarious.
was still like the most gangster dude I met in a minute, dancing his ass off.
That's hard.
Body, yada, 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 yada.
That just makes me want to go like this.
I think the first one I saw it was when Mulatto was dancing to it.
Oh, that sounds
She was
amazing.
so funny. No, but she was doing it like really funny.
But that like right there, like her dance to it made me feel like, okay, this is like a meme, right? Like this is not.
It's like half
don't know.
meme, half a hit.
Yeah, that's probably like the whole. That's probably they're trying to stir up this type of
Right.
talk about the song.
I want Meg to win so bad, but I really just.
I think
hate
she's
that
winning
fucking album.
already, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but also, don't you think that her selling 103,000 copies is not like?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
I mean,
thought that's
it's
fine,
all
that's
right.
really good.
Right, but she's Meg Thee Stallion. Like that, I don't know. I felt
What
like
did
I
you
think that that's
expect her to
crazy.
hit?
more than that.
I think
Like
that
what?
what
Like
you thought-
150?
I don't
Really?
know. Like a lot of people were saying 200. Like I fucking
who was-
Joe
But
Budden and all them were saying
even
200.
Future and Uzi did what, like 120 or some shit.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
they
then you
didn't
feel
do that
like that's
much.
kind of like a casual, like, hey, look, we're just gonna throw a mixtape at you. It's not the debut album from Meg.
This
Thee
didn't
Stallion.
feel like a debut album.
Also,
No,
like,
I
I'm
agree,
so
yeah.
sick of these. This is the debut album when you have
like,
like
she's at like
actual full
six
projects.
six tapes.
Oh
out
yeah.
before
Anyway,
that.
picture me. The Kelsey Nicole track drops. I'm listening to it. I'm thinking,
Terrible.
oh my god, this.
I wanted to
hip-hop
surgically
is-
remove my ears.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It was fire.
That
it
was
was
terrible.
so
I didn't think it was that bad.
Terrible.
lit. It
Terrible.
was pretty
Dude,
much the
I'm
greatest
team-
hip hop
I'm
I've
team
ever heard in
Meg.
my life.
I don't want to hear it. Get her out of here. That
No,
was trash.
did you hear the crazy part where she said, like, you try to get me not to talk because you were gonna drop a leak of sex tape or something like that?
Huh?
She said something about like,
Kel's got a sex tape.
and that Megan
I'll watch that.
or her team allegedly were gonna like,
Leak.
like we're like bribing.
If
or not
all
bribing,
the things,
go-
if half the
blackmailing
things
her.
that are being attributed
There's
to
too
Megan's
much.
team are true,
Yeah.
then it's lit because everybody seems to think that Meg's team has some crazy fucking plot that they're about to drop on somebody at any given moment. But all right, so I slide in Kelsey's DMs, right? I have a message request from her.
It was already
I
lit.
click accept. There's nothing there.
I mean,
Oh,
she's-
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
been
she
doing that.
Unsent it.
But have you seen that from
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people? Because I like at the time it stood out to me. I was like, "Whoa!" She sent me something and then unsent it. But then I had that happen to me on like 3 other
Yeah,
people's accounts
exactly.
since then.
It'll say accept decline. There'll be nothing there.
Isn't that weird?
That's happened to me before too.
It's like they're encouraging you to open the line of communication.
I think because we're verified, Kim can't relate, so she has no idea what we're talking
and
about.
she's not in the elite 100K club.
She's not in the 3 digits club yet, so
Must be tough.
You guys are so annoying.
Pleb. Anyway, so I open up the message from Kelsey Nicole and I send her
She
an
is bad,
emoji.
though.
I forget exactly what the emoji was.
purple pickle.
She sent back another emoji. I said, "Let's get this interview in."
Oh god,
She said she was going to talk to her team.
I can't believe.
Her team meaning Carl Crawford.
I don't know. Wait, she fucks with him? That's still her dude?
Huh?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Her.
Not
What do you mean
dude.
that's still her dude?
Not
Carl
dude,
Crawford, the
like-
dude who signed Meg Thee Stallion. Why are you assuming that Kelsey Nicole would have anything to do with him?
Now she's hanging out with him.
Oh, see,
and
I
she's
didn't know
looking,
this.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, you're not doing a very
you,
good job.
Okay, but because you said that's her dude. I'm like,
No,
that's
he
not
didn't
her
mean-
dude.
he
That's
didn't mean-
Megan's dude.
No, it's not. Meg has nothing to do with
Now
him. She
she
hates
doesn't.
him. Yeah.
Now she doesn't.
Right.
But okay, anyways, whatever.
Anyway,
You could have done this so much faster.
Fuck you. They're like hanging out and she's like looking to Jay Prince for protection.
Really?
Because
What?
people are like
Where'd you
send
see
her
that?
death threats on Lovely T's channel.
Oh my
What?
god! I'm subscribed
Dummy.
to that. I gotta
Yeah, we
actually
gotta.
watch
Yeah,
some.
we gotta tap in with this.
Wow, that's crazy.
Where's the
I
tree-
subscribed to her because Laura told me this.
Where's the tree
I
camo
love
one? This one
Lovely-
sucks.
Lovely T.
No, this one suck, but I like the tree camo
Fuck
one.
all these stupid condoms.
Honestly, yeah, they're pretty
Sorry.
gay, but the tree camo one is tight.
I like
NoJumper.com.
anyways.
Buy a condom. Who would you rather click up with though? Like Rock Nation / Meg or like Jay
Rock-
Prince / Kelsey Nicole? And is she actually on the Rap-A-Lot team?
She's like,
She got a Rap-A-Lot chain yet?
she comes out. If she comes out with a Rap-A-Lot chain, that's kind of crazy.
I was trying to picture like what is going to happen to me if I do a Kelsey Nicole interview. Like
Jay Prince might pull up.
but will like
Rock
Nation,
Nation
like somehow
you.
like burn
100.
this office building down? Like
I mean,
I don't know. Like
you have
Why are
no.
they the Illuminati? They could just do anything like that.
I don't
It's
know,
The
but don't you
Rock.
kind of see it that way?
They're definitely not gonna like fuck with you ever again.
And-
Probably.
well,
When have they fucked
ever
with you?
fucked
I was
me?
about to say.
I've never been to a Rock
No.
Nation brunch. I would love to.
What Rock Nation artists have you interviewed? None.
I have no idea who's signed to Rock Nation.
No,
I'm pretty sure there's some.
no.
though.
Q the Fool when he came here
Q the
and like
Fool.
Rock Nation's people
And
like
he did
were
yeah,
talking
Rock
with
Nation.
us.
And one of them was like,
remember
"Oh yeah,
that.
we're gonna get you at the brunch this year." Or some
Yeah,
shit.
right.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, it'd be fire." Thinking, "Hell no, you ain't."
They would
the
throw
fuck are
you.
you talking
They would
about?
throw you the fuck out
They're
of
What am
like,
I
here.
doing at the brunch? I can't go to the brunch.
I'm imagining seeing like Jay-Z, Meek Mill,
And then Adam 22
Adam
walking
is
up. What
not
up,
the
son?
good.
How you doing?
Nipsey Hussle, and then Adam 22 in the back, just like.
Who wants to tell him?
No, I meant back when they were doing that. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see me getting the Rock Nation brunch invite.
I hope they don't.
I'd love to go.
Hope
But
I
they
don't
keep
think you're
you-
getting any brunch invites.
what white people
No,
are
wait,
there?
wait. Hold on. Just know.
What white people are there?
Just know
I
my-
just want to see a list.
Rory?
Yeah, I was gonna say Maul.
That's the first person that came to
Maul
mind.
isn't,
I
isn't
thought
white.
no, I thought Maul was the white guy. I get them confused sometimes.
man.
Anyway, no, Rory probably is there.
I think
for
it's
sure.
100%.
I think yeah.
Shout out Rory.
Who else? Alchemist.
Who's white that's there?
M.
Eminem is not
And
there.
Eminem
Eminem's
is
not
not
gone.
leaving his house.
Eminem is like trying to put Haley in rehab or something. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think. Well, also, I want to see.
That was
I want to
fucked
see
up.
the list of white people who are at the Rock Nation brunch broken down into Jews and non-Jews as well.
How old is Eminem's daughter now? Like 23?
She's old
Don't
enough.
say anything bad.
All I know
No, I'm
is
just saying. I just remember her vividly being rapped about when I was a child, so
I
she
know.
must be
I just
an
remember
adult.
that when MGK said she was hot when she was
Oh, that's
16,
sus.
that then by the time Eminem and MGK got around to actually beefing,
She
she
was
was
like
already a
age.
full-grown woman, which I always thought was pretty funny because there was like a huge gap of like 4
I'm about to
years
look it
before
up and
they
see
beefed.
how old she is. Wait,
she's
because
old. She's like 23.
He's definitely like 20 something.
I was gonna say,
like,
when were they beefing to where he said she was hot when he was
You
16?
don't remember that? That's
was
why.
huge.
That's why the whole the
That's why
rap
they beefed.
devil. And all
Literally,
that shit.
literally type in Eminem. The first thing comes up is Eminem
Probably
daughter.
gets searched like 100,000 times a day.
That's crazy. That's sus. She is kind of hot, but looks like him.
She's stupid hot.
She's 24.
I've
She
worked
looks
the gram.
She looks
she's
like
good.
him.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
No, I
She has
mean,
the same chin
dude, that freaks me out so much thinking about like just the idea
of your daughter looking like you.
and then like at some point some weird ass rap fan wanting to have sex with my daughter because she looks like me.
That's
like somehow
fucking
that's a
weird.
connection.
What?
Like if you sleep with Steve Harvey's daughter, don't you think
She
part
don't-
of it
I
is
don't
because
think
you like
Lori
Family
Harvey-
She
Feud?
doesn't look anything
I
like
don't
She's
think
him.
not
Lo-
even related to him either. So
Oh,
Wait,
she's
what?
not? Is it just
No.
by like family or something or marriage?
Ah, okay.
I just found that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't hurt him at all, really.
I
Bro. He
feel
doesn't
like
care.
you're listening to that one Kanye song about like not wanting his daughter to grow up and like I want your daughter, my daughter, to be shaped more like me than your mother.
He said
He
that?
did say that.
Yeah, I think that's,
want-
I know you're listening to that song like, oh boy.
I'm just freaked out by the idea of like, imagine if you're Steve Harvey. Well, I know that they're
this
not
doesn't
related,
count now,
right?
yeah.
But if you were Steve Harvey and that was your daughter, and then you have Future, who's like a decade or two younger than you, he's not exactly like
They were
you know,
like cool and hanging out.
like my.
It's not his
Say
biological
my
daughter. It
daughter's
doesn't matter.
18. And then she's hanging out with other 18-year-olds. It's like whatever.
Who
Say my
cares?
daughter's 18. She's hanging out with like a 45-year-old rapper. It's like
He's not
She's hanging out
45.
with Diddy.
Future's 37 because he's the same.
You guys are
exact
like the
age as
same
me.
age. That's crazy.
And
the
wasn't
exact
she?
same
He
age.
seems so much younger and cooler than you.
Wasn't she dating Diddy like right before that?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's like 55.
That's
Who's like
that's
65.
kind.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
she's in her bag. That's what it sounds like.
She's
She's
definitely
out here
her
doing
bag.
it, but I mean, it's just weird as fuck to like to me, like me and Lena have done like porn scenes with like 18, 19-year-old girls in the last year or two, and it's just like whatever. Like didn't even think twice about it. Now having a kid, that does seem a little weird.
In my personal life, I'm
a lot of
like,
things you do are weird.
in my personal life, I'm like, she for sure should be 21 plus for sure. Like
I think
how old are you?
more like, yeah, I think 21's okay for you.
21
old are you?
plus.
He's like 20.
27.
Oh, I thought you're 25.
No.
Okay,
27.
then they need to be at least like 24.
I could never
Yeah.
get mad about doing content with a girl who.
I mean, you're talking about work and like personal life
exactly.
is different.
Like if she's like, because a lot of like these girls have already done double anal, which is unbelievable to me. Like you're 19 and you've already done double anal. Like
Because they're
you-
probably doing double anal in real life. That's why.
I've actually asked a bunch of girls that, and usually they do it for the first time on set,
camera.
which is kind of amazing to me as well. But also imagine like getting two guys together who are double anal on camera is not just like something you just do all willy nilly. Like
You have to get her like
yeah, there's a lot. That's X Games mode right there.
Kim
you know?
stares off into the abyss, just
I
like,
just
"Ah,
like don't care when you
Like,
guys talk
here
about
we go."
weird shit like this.
She's probably thought about it herself, right?
about okay. Anyway,
You're so weird.
Double anal.
yeah.
Double anal is so funny because it just sounds
Yo,
ridiculous.
you know what's crazier than double anal? Watching Nate Robinson get knocked out.
And then he probably did double anal later that night. Yeah, he got double anal by Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Yeah, that was great. You know what? I really fucked up. I booked a 2-hour massage during that
What?
fight. So like the guy, I'm like sitting there watching the fight. I got my little bootleg going, and then the fucking dude shows up to massage me
Yeah, but then you.
immediately as it starts.
Yeah, but you could be in the thing with the thing
I
underneath.
thought about it, but like a lot of times, like he'll be like walk. Like I didn't know like where I could possibly put the fight that I'd be able to see it while my fucking face is down on the table and we're on the massage. You know.
But there's a hole in the face
Yeah,
thing,
you
right?
just put it right
Yeah,
there.
but then I'd have to put the laptop on the ground at a weird angle.
Or you
and
can
also
hold it in
he's
your hand.
walking around there, and it's like seems pretty likely that he's gonna stomp on the fucking screen or something.
Did he stomp on your face?
No, but I mean, my face is on the bed. My laptop
Has he ever
would have
tried to
be on the
glory
ground.
hole you
I
through
know. I
the
I
hole?
have so many questions.
No, he has not.
Did you
Has
get a
he
happy
tried?
ending?
No,
Was he big and Russian?
Big and black, huh? I bet you.
no,
That's your type.
no.
Yeah, that's
That's your
definitely your
type.
type.
That's what you're always
if
talking
he
about.
was black, that
Big
would make
barely.
me sound so weird.
Big
like,
Barely.
Big barely man. Just
if he
And
looked
I-
like
I thought
Cali
it was
Muscle,
burly.
if he looked
Big
like
barely. What?
Burly. If he looked
No,
like
he
Cali
said-
Muscle,
never mind.
there's no way I could get away with this. Like it would just be sus as fuck. No, he's a white guy. He's a smaller white guy.
got to keep it in the family.
He's a strong guy though. Yeah, you gotta support the white community.
How strong? You think he can knock you out?
He's a lot shorter than me.
So is he like walking on your back? Is that why you like smaller men?
no, he's just really strong and really forceful. The way he fucking, I swear to God, I'm still like just like sleepy off of it because it hurts so bad, but then your body feels so relaxed after.
I love that.
If you
It's the best.
You know what the worst is? I hate falling asleep while getting massage because I feel like I just wasted it.
no, that's what
That's
it's
how I
for.
feel. No, I want to feel like
Okay,
everything.
if you are like getting a regular
feel.
massage, I agree. But if I fell asleep during one of these massages, it's kind of all about like the how you
after.
feel at the end.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're like supposed to begin this like super relaxing massage, like yeah, I could see what you're saying. But like for me, it's like my body literally feels like a million times better at the end of this shit. And I had to try for so long to find a person who gave massages that I actually fucked with.
Yeah, I'd be mad tense. I need to figure that out.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Especially after working out a shitload. Like, just fucking when you're like lifting weights like crazy, you don't realize like how tense and fucking your
Yeah,
muscles
'cause-
just get filled with
'cause they're,
like
like,
this
contracting
acid
and
and
shit.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much like growing and stuff, and then when they take that muscle and just fucking really knead the fuck out of it and like get all that shit out, it's a game changer.
I know. I've had like knots in my shoulders for so fucking long, and like anytime I go to masseuse, I'm just rub there an
Yeah.
hour.
Really,
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I'm just like screaming like ah.
that's hot.
this
love
girl
it.
this girl was like rubbing my shoulder. She was like, "Oh my god, I've never felt someone this tense before. Like, you need to go get this figured out." I'm like,
I
"All
can
right."
see it. What I also was thinking it would be funny if you wore one of these because it would probably I would like to see what is going on with your heart rate on like a Saturday night. It'd be funny
What
if
you have his thing to your phone like oh I know what he's doing.
oh, Housephone 165 beats a minute.
No, and the funniest thing is when you see how much he sleeps.
Not a minute,
Oh,
a
yeah.
second or whatever it is.
Well,
Is it? No, it's a minute. Yeah.
I don't sleep that crazy.
You don't. I feel like
I
you
feel
get a lot
like
of
you
sleep.
either sleep too much or you don't sleep at
I
all.
feel like
No,
you
for-
wake
for
up like
sure.
an hour or two before the show most of the time.
I wasn't feeling too good today, so I definitely slept until like 2 p.m. for
Also,
sure.
you got me fucked up last week.
Why?
You think I'm lying about being sick.
I was just kidding.
No, I know. And
I
then
think
when
you guys actually
and
think
then
that I'd
when
be
I
lying.
am sick and I tell you I don't have COVID, now I have COVID. I'm like, which is it? Am
Everybody
I sick?
has COVID.
Am I
Yeah,
not
we
COVID?
all have it.
Well,
How come
I,
my meal prep guy?
I don't have it.
My meal prep guy comes in the other day. He did have a mask on and gives. I haven't got meal prep in like a month or something, and he gives AD his meals. He says to me like, "Yo, I got you next week if you want to like let's do the order." I'm like, "All right, yeah, pull up Sunday." He just texted me
I got COVID.
COVID. I'm like, "Whoa, that's
So-
fucking scary, bro."
So it's COVID on the meals then.
I guess maybe like you think should AD throw away his fucking
What the fuck
steak?
is this? Why is it
Maybe.
nut? Why is it nut on my fucking
Where's the nut?
headphone?
I think it's Adam's
what
after
is
he
it?
touched Amber
Ugh.
Rose's.
Don't
I think
you
it's
be-
been there for a while.
Don't you be fucking on this table?
No,
If you nutted on my fucking headphones, I swear to God.
I've never done
definitely
anything
nutted on,
sexual
like,
in
these
this
thingies.
building besides the
cap.
actual sex scenes because there's always
I've
other
never
people
done
here.
anything sexual in this building
No,
except
but
for
when I'm
actual
doing
sex
that,
scenes.
I'm the only person there who works
Ejaculated.
for No Jumper. Besides the one time that Yuri filmed the behind the scenes and he stayed out there and he didn't see any of the.
You
nudity.
made Yuri.
That's
I
so
paid Yuri
fucking
to do
weird.
the behind
Can
the
we
scenes one
fucking?
time.
Can we get a lawyer in here?
Where's the HR?
Hey, you got paid to film the behind
Do-
the scenes, and
do
he
we-
stayed in there because his girlfriend didn't want him.
Of course she
smelling
didn't.
all the dookie and whatnot. You know,
I
All
know
the
weird
dookie.
shit has happened on those white couches. That's why
Yeah.
I refuse to sit on those.
it has. It just hasn't been released to the world yet. But now, hey man, Lena the Plug starting to look good again. She's about to be filming
That's
some more
so-
content with
so
me, man.
rude.
She lost that baby weight so fucking fast, dude. I swear. She's like definitely one of those girls that's like gonna piss off all the other moms because her stomach like went back to totally normal like immediately. It's fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand how she did it.
Postpartum pussy.
It's because she just put so much goddamn lotion on that belly, just over and over, just hitting it with the lotion so she wouldn't get stretch marks.
You got to make sure, yeah.
I feel like when you see a girl and she's got the stomach, it's all fucked up and it's just a huge chunk, it's because they didn't fucking moisturize that shit. They just let it get all raw and crackly and shit.
Yeah, bitches don't be taking care of that shit.
They don't?
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I
That's
have
just
no
my
baby
guess.
mama, so I don't know.
You gotta get one, dude. That should be your goal for this year.
For this year, or I got 1 month.
Yeah.
It's December 1st.
Get the fucking. And also, you get another one the next year, too, bro. You
got
need to
30.
have a baby. That'd be
Why do you
lit.
want me to have a baby so bad?
Because I got one, so now I want everybody else to have one.
I felt that. But just know if I was following the same standard as you, I got like at least another like 5 years of debauchery.
Yeah, that's true.
Like until it's time for me to settle down.
Kim, you need to have a baby.
This is my body.
You're wifed up with a famous V-Loan designer. How could you not? You know how many women out there would kill to get impregnated by someone who's designed multiple V-Loan designs? Literally, like that's
Honestly,
what they talk about in the shade room, right?
Put some respect on my man. He does way more than just
Right,
that.
but even just that, even if he had done nothing besides the V-Loan work, girls are dying for that seed. I would assume.
The baby's born with a V on the back.
And he looks like Phoenix.
No, them sitting across from each other.
But Blasey in comparison to Phoenix looks like
Before and after.
Phoenix
Before
looks like
what?
Before
I don't
drugs.
know, Percocets,
So
like
fucked
fucking
up.
it's just they had a different vibe, man.
Oh my fucking
Yeah.
god!
Blasey-
That really was. I was hoping that they were gonna sit.
No, we placed them
yeah,
perfectly.
we kind of did.
Graphic
like, oh,
designer,
open tea right
graphic
there.
designers live a less intense life than rappers quite often.
No, that's why I think that they're a perfect match because their vibes just went together perfectly, and I don't think
And
Kim could.
they're from like the same.
I'm talking about you.
area.
I'm talking about you
Oh.
and Blasey.
Oh,
It would be
said-
so weird if you just left with Phoenix by accident.
what the fuck?
If this was a sitcom, that's the kind of thing that would happen.
No, but I think that's why Kim, because I've known Kim for a while and I haven't seen her like seriously really date that many people. Pretty much anyone really.
Couple, but not. But she always hides it. She dated
She doesn't
Blasey
wanna
for
talk
so
about that.
long before she actually started to like talk about it like it was whatever. And like I've known,
That's a fact.
I've known at other times that she was seeing somebody, but she would be. She just doesn't want me to make fun of her about it or bring it up like I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
so
but
she
now-
would just
So
keep
I'm
it.
But
like,
that's
super
why
low
she
key.
got the coolest. Now she got the coolest
'Cause you're annoying.
guy in the world.
I don't tell you anything about my life because you're just
Yeah.
gonna come on here
I
and
know,
like say
that's a
weird
fact,
shit.
that's
or
a
You
fact.
brought him on the podcast. You're flexing. You're Phoenix flexing.
No, I'm
Blasey
I'm
flexing.
talking about like before. Obviously, me and him have been dating for a really long
Yeah.
time now, and you guys have met him and seen him and talked to him.
Right.
But I'm talking about before.
Honestly, I stand their relationship. Like if,
Aw,
like,
thank you.
I want to get to the point to where I'm like Blasey. I'm just working. I'm focused on my work, my girl,
V-Loan.
and my and my family
You're so
life.
annoying.
Like he's one of my homies that I really look at as like this is how I need to be more like.
I
You feel
just
me?
think it's so interesting that he's on the other side. Like we're all just on the outside looking in on V-Loan,
will not
and
shut
he's
the
just on
fuck
the
up. He
inside.
will
So it's
not
like I
shut
just
up.
can't
He's
help.
like in
but-
a group chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
He did like 2 V-Loan designs, and
Oh, really?
that's like the.
I thought he was like under contract. Like you couldn't.
I mean, just know
he
V-Loan
could-
house
he
phone
could-
coming
he could
soon?
be.
just know they tried.
Yeah,
Just
he
know.
V-Loan
could
house
be.
phone,
Just know
house
me,
V-Loan.
me
How we
House-
never said that before?
house loan?
Little house V-Loan.
little house loan.
Bro,
That
you
doesn't-
need to drop that.
That
Just
doesn't
know-
sound
Drop,
good at all.
drop bootleg.
I don't know
V-Loan.
why, but that little tap felt really racist.
Yeah, it was kind of racist. Honestly, I
It's
felt
very,
it.
like,
That was the kind of tap that you would give to like Sean King or D-Ray. Like, hey, systematic injustices needs to end, brother.
Just know, I don't even know if I talked about this on camera, but just know we squashed it behind the scenes. Did I ever talk
V-Loan?
about that? Yeah, we squashed it
You
behind
and
the
Young
scenes.
Lord squash it.
Squashed it.
That's why he's wearing his jersey.
I'm wearing a Young Lord jersey.
That's what I
right
said.
now.
I'm like, that's a Young Lord jersey right there.
Nah, yeah, we squashed it behind the scenes, man.
Wow, that's lit.
I don't think. I mean, I'm not trying to be his best friend or nothing. I'll probably vice versa, but you know, I think it's no problem.
I think that's good.
It's good. Yeah,
It's over something
it's
so
2020.
stupid
We get
anyways.
money. I mean, I'm just the type of nigga. I just don't like random disrespect. So that's what it was over for me. It wasn't about the situation. You know,
When they do the government lockdown, they're not going to shut down those fucking
the V-Lone store, right?
No, the carts with the fucking the shoreline in them always be right. The Benny Hibachi trucks and
Oh, I
stuff.
hope
'Cause
not.
I really been thinking about doing a little downtown mission. Go pull up on Desto Dub and then hit the hibachi truck.
Just be prepared to wait like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
For
you
real?
should probably call
Shit
it in
takes
first.
so fucking long.
Shout out Benny Hibachi, man,
I
because
feel like I
they
could
hooked
get
it
the
up last
VIP
time.
treatment. I feel like I would just be like, no,
You should-
serve me. Walk to the front of the line.
You should
from
DM
around here.
them on Instagram first, or call first.
Have you guys been to the fake one, the Beniakis?
I saw Blasey there in
Where's
Long
that
Beach,
at?
right?
They have it in Paramount, but they also have another one
They have one in
downtown.
Paramount. What the fuck?
I've only been to
It's
the
the
one
one with the bear
downtown and then
brick.
the one on Hollywood. For the record, we're talking about these ill ass carts where they have mad.
It's not a
good
cart, it's a
meat.
food
It's
truck.
a food truck that serves
It's a
hibachi.
truck.
Hibachi style.
But isn't it
food.
more of a cart than a truck?
No, it's a full
A
truck.
cart? What the fuck?
Well, but it's not a truck. A truck is like
It's
It's
called
a
a
food
food
truck.
It's called a food truck.
Yeah, I guess
A cart is more like you're pushing shit around.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
like-
I'm
food-
used to
like
calling
a,
it a food cart.
A food cart is like the ladies
like-
with the hot dogs and the,
or
like that's a
or,
Fucks
cart.
with them.
Or
That's
the
a
people
cart.
with the
Okay, you're
Mexican
right, yeah.
fruit. That's a cart.
Or the fruit, yeah.
Who I
Yeah.
love.
Shout out to all the street vendors, man.
Give me a mango with chili on it, bro.
Go
I
support
need-
your local street vendors,
I need
guys.
some elote like now.
I had to live here for a long time before I started to realize that the fruit with the chili all over it was good.
Yeah,
So
that's like
good. Oh my God.
it's like refreshing on a hot summer day.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Honestly,
I love making it at home too.
I never bought it myself. I just take it from other people.
Damn,
no.
you don't support
you don't support
Mexicans?
you don't support street
Not
vendors.
those
That's
ones
crazy.
specifically. I never have cash.
They got
You said
Cash App
not
now.
those ones.
And that fucks me up with the valet every time. You know how many times I had to disrespect the valet and not tip that fool?
Oh God,
Niggas
I
got a
fucking hate
nigga.
the valets.
Oh my god!
You
speak-
need to have a jar of ones and fives in your house for the fucking Mexican fruit cart lady and the fucking valet guy because
really do.
I'm just shit out of luck. Like, and the fucking car wash guy.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
you would.
I got no cash.
You know, you would think like they've even upgraded the fucking what is it called? Meters to even have cards.
Yeah, that's a
like,
fact.
Everyone should take.
Just
cards.
know, just know, I was pulling up to Target earlier to buy some boxers because I didn't have time to wash my clothes. So I bought. I do that all the
You're
time.
going commando right now,
That's
or
how you
you're
get
wearing
more
Dookie
underwear.
underwear.
No, I bought underwear and white t-shirts. This is fresh out the plastic, baby. Don't play with me.
Dookie.
Anyway, so as I pull up, there's like a group of African American women, and they are trying to get me to donate to some cause, and they look like they were probably in high school or some shit. And I was just like, I don't know what y'all talking about, but I don't got no cash, and I got Cash App. And they're like, we got Cash App. So I sent them all like $20, and I probably spent like $80 outside of Target.
I never
before
thought
I even
to
went
ask the
inside.
valet guy, like, oh, you got Venmo?
I've tried asking, they never take it.
I
And
don't-
then at that point, I'm just like, can I just pay you next time? And it usually works out for
Yeah.
me.
I
'cause
don't
I'm
know-
like cuter than you guys.
I don't know what they were trying to sell me on, but I was just like, whatever it is, I'll support it. Here you go.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know why?
They told me they had Cash App. I didn't bring up Cash
I
App.
think it's so important to tip the car wash guy and the fucking valet guy because they could really steal everything you have if they wanted, you know? Like, even if they just take, like, the fucking sunglasses or...
Well, that's why you're not supposed to leave shit in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, I leave shit in there.
I never leave shit. I just spit everywhere.
Really?
Leave shit in the car. Hell no.
I leave everything in there.
Like what? Like your
No,
like
I've
expensive
heard
sunglasses
people
and
getting
shit?
like their laptop stolen and shit.
Oh nah, nigga! If I pull up and if I'm still in the parking lot and my laptop is not there, I'm spazzing on everybody.
I've never even thought twice about it. Like, if I'm using this valet and my laptop is gone by
Yeah.
the time I come back...
I'm not
Yeah.
trusting
I am
anybody.
going to go in on this fucking restaurant on social media so bad for how unprofessional that is.
Yeah.
That's fucked. That valet driver needs to lose his fucking job. Even if he had nothing to do with it, even if it was somebody else. If you fucking
If
that,
you
that
let somebody
restaurant
steal-
deserves whatever bad press they get
Think
from that.
about it.
That's a
How are
fact.
you gonna prove that you had it before you went there?
What do you mean, nigga? It's my car. I know what was in my car.
No, I know, but like you just can't prove that
I'm me.
situation.
Why would I lie? I'm not gonna lie about that. I used to have a laptop and now I don't.
No,
And the
I don't.
valet took it. So we gonna talk about it on Twitter and we gonna bring shame to your establishment. I've never even thought about the fact that a laptop could go missing because, like, all right, just to put in perspective, like I have at least $50 in cash in my fucking middle box, like right now, and I also have like a $500 pair of sunglasses that I never fucking wear. That's been there for like
The
2
weird
years.
Gucci ones.
These are Givenchy ones or whatever. And
Givenchy.
Givenchy, whatever. And then-
Givenchy.
Givenchy.
Sure, that too.
Givenchy.
They're all of those. And then they're sitting there, and I've never even thought twice about the fucking car wash guy doing it, but just stealing that. But also one time I went in there and I had a fucking full spliff rolled in my ashtray, and I was already like
My
fucking
ashtray.
half mile away before I realized that it was gone. And I'm like, That's got to
Maybe
be the
they
most
threw-
scandalous
Nah, maybe
car
they-
wash guy
No,
ever. I looked
no,
everywhere.
no.
It was gone. All right.
I know, but I'm
I
saying.
think they could have thrown it away.
I
thinking that it
think
was
maybe they
trash.
were cleaning out the car. They threw it away.
Who wants a half split?
It was
split?
full. It wasn't even lit.
Oh,
In this country, you do not throw away a fully rolled joint.
In this
I'm
country.
sorry, but this is how it
okay. I
is.
thought you said it was like a roach. I'm
In
like,
this
Hell no,
country.
they smoked that shit for sure.
oh, they definitely took your shit.
And I wasn't even that mad about it. I'm like, geez, all right, you can take it. It's like a $5 fucking contraption I just put together there, but geez, it's fucked up.
I try to see the best in people, and I want to say that they were cleaning out your car.
No, he's getting high off his shit.
That's not clean. That's not clean. It's not clean. It would be cleaner if it still had the spliff in it.
Can we talk about anything important, guys?
Yeah, let's go.
besides
Let's jump
just
into it.
Car washes.
Well, you tried to talk about Jake Paul for a little bit there, right?
Did you guys
tried.
watch the whole
I
entire
tried.
fight?
No, I was getting a
watched,
massage.
the snippet.
You only watched the part where Jake Paul knocked him out.
I watched like a highlight reel thing. Like how long is the actual fight?
I mean,
It was, I think, 2 rounds,
Yeah,
right?
Jake Paul knocked him out in the second round. So,
So how long is one round?
I don't know. That's a
Okay.
good question.
I saw a lot of hugging
I want to
Yeah.
put
and
it.
like breaking it up, hugging.
I want to
breaking
put
up.
it this way: when Logan Paul took the L to KSI. Now, granted, it like wasn't that humiliating of a knockout. It was just kind of whatever. Like he didn't like knock him out cold like Jake did to Nate Robinson. But Logan Paul, like how much hate did he get from white people? I don't really think much at all. I felt like Logan Paul sort of like just skated by. Nobody really gave a shit.
But before you do
Nate
this,
Robinson has been so viciously attacked by his own people after this
Look.
that you got all these NBA players speaking out against it and stuff. Like I really genuinely feel bad for this dude. And it's obviously not all black people. It's just everybody in general.
yeah, I was
but
gonna
like,
say like it's.
I
Look,
don't know, man. This
this
is like
is-
nothing I've ever seen before. How bad
Yeah.
he's been getting it.
Is very bad. That's not a fair comparison because getting knocked out by Jake Paul is more of an L than getting knocked out by Nate Robinson as Jake Paul.
That's a fact.
And same with KSI. Like, if KSI were the one to get knocked out by Logan Paul,
it
then
would've
everyone would have clowned
But
KSI.
Also, though, Nate
Yeah.
Robinson is just known more for being a basketball player.
And
He-
Jake Paul's so hated.
Yeah.
So many people hate Jake Paul that don't really know anything about him except that they don't like him. And so I think that was the main thing because so many people were relying on Nate Robinson to like knock out this dude that they don't like. Me personally,
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
cool with Jake Paul. I like Jake Paul, but like
No, that would have been
you know,
triumphant. if he
People
would've
felt
knocked
like
him
Nate
out.
Robinson was going in there to do something.
Isn't
on
Jake Paul
behalf
way
of
taller
them.
than him, too?
Yes, he's
He's
huge.
like taller
over
and
him.
bigger, I think.
And it really seemed like he kind of took the fight more seriously too, especially like technique wise. Like
Yeah.
it really looked like Nate Robinson like didn't
never even-
understand that Jake Paul was going to punch him and that he was going to be able to get knocked out by him and that he was just rushing in over and over.
Yeah.
And it's like that's just not what anyone who's good at boxing does.
like
Like you
flailing
can't
his
just.
arms
And
around.
how did he get knocked out? He got knocked out because he rushed in and his fucking chin's just hanging there and Jake Paul hit it.
It just sucks because
Wow.
like he just had way more to lose.
Who?
Nate Robinson had way more to
Yes.
lose.
Do you think
I think
that?
Jake Paul had more to lose.
Jake
to be
Paul has
honest.
more of a modern day career, don't you think?
I just think he had more to lose in terms of like
Nate
if
Robinson
he
had-
was to get knocked out by Jake Paul, literally look at what happened. Like everyone.
I
just-
think Nate Robinson had more to win of just being like, who the fuck was talking about Nate Robinson before this?
Nobody. Yeah. All of a sudden,
I had
he's
no idea who
he's,
he was.
he's
Yeah, exactly.
famous again or
But-
whatever.
But
I never
would
even
not
knew who
want
it
to be
was, yeah.
famous for this reason.
Oh no, but he used to, we
Right.
got to put some respect on his name because he
Isn't
was
he-
the smallest nigga and he was winning the dunk
I was
contest.
gonna say,
That's
yeah,
how I
he-
knew him
he
from the
went
dunk contest.
like three-time champion.
And
or some
obviously
shit,
we
right?
know I don't watch sports, but that was one thing that you would have to watch.
But you
the
want to know
dunk-
one thing
the
I want to
dunk
say though
contest.
is
Never
that
watched
if
it.
Nate
So fire.
Robinson knocked out Jake Paul that bad, Jake Paul might have got it worse.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
everybody would have been so happy
Happy.
Yeah.
to see Jake Paul get knocked out. I mean, like them making all these memes about Nate Robinson is like, yeah, it's funny, but it's also they wanted him to win. So it's like this is kind of like their way of dealing with it.
Yeah.
But they wanted Jake Paul to lose. I feel like the triumphant celebration would have been even crazier. Like that was just destined to be a fight that was going to have a huge response. But
Huge
it also
outcome.
they got the epic knockout that people wanted. Like I mean, you know, a lot of times these fights happen and there's nothing that determining in terms of who won or lost.
I kind of feel like their fight overshadowed the Mike Tyson
Oh, 100%.
Roy
Yeah.
Jones Jr. fight.
100%.
I
which
didn't
is
see
pretty
any
crazy.
challenges come from that one.
There was 0 challenges come from that.
Yeah.
What?
and-
How did them two fighting become a thing? Like, did someone call out someone?
Yeah, because
or
I saw
something?
Mike Tyson, I swear, do an interview like a year ago or 6 months ago where he was talking about how he didn't like the version of himself that he was when he was a fighter and how he would never fight again and how that's just not him anymore. I didn't really pay enough attention to find out exactly what changed for him, but yeah, apparently he
I don't
wanted to
even
get
know
in
who
there
he
again.
fought. Sorry.
He fought Roy Jones Jr.
Jr.
You're like, who the fuck is
Doesn't
that?
mean much to me.
The
to be
only
totally
person
honest.
I know is Mike Tyson and Gervonta.
Who
Gervonta
6ix9ine was
Davis.
stunting on in the club. You see that?
Oh, I saw something. So
6ix9ine
I just saw they were
6ix9ine
like
was
there
in the
together.
club?
6ix9ine was in the club in Miami, which
They were what?
that's where that fight
Throwing
was in
money?
Miami.
Probably.
Yeah, well, either way, 6ix9ine.
No idea.
It was my first time seeing him in so long because, all right, remember his album came out. Then he had a
Trash.
couple of Instagram posts where he was like pretending
Making
to
fun
tear
of
down the
himself.
posters of his own shit. And then he came out saying LOL when King Von died. And then he fucking really, besides that, we like really
Nothing.
haven't heard of him. And then all of a sudden you see him in the club throwing money, looking mad as fuck. Like I actually like kind of thought that maybe 6ix9ine was like transforming a little bit behind the scenes and maybe like realizing that he should be a little bit more humble. And then you see him like basically like provoking a fight with a boxer in the club, and you're like, oh no, he's
still on the same
dude.
shit.
Yeah. Do you guys watch that documentary on Hulu?
I don't
No,
have
some
Hulu.
some girl asked me, did I watch it? And she was
Is
like,
it good? Aren't you in it or some shit?
I'm up in it.
yeah. Look, so I'm like talking to this girl calls me and she was like, did you watch the 6ix9ine documentary? And I was like, no, why? She was like, oh, I don't know, Adam 22's in it. And I was like, do you think I just watch everything that Adam is in just because? And she was like, I don't know, I thought you guys were like friends. I thought you would watch it.
I mean, it took me like a week and a half to watch
what
it.
I'm
So I mean, you know.
Apparently, there's a billboard on fucking Sunset or Melrose or something.
That sounds terrible.
To me, it's a very, very, very well made documentary. The dude Vikram who made it like totally killed it.
Bikram Yoga?
No, Vikram
I
just
thought you said Bikram.
I'm so glad that
Victor,
I watched
right?
that.
yeah. He's a fucking,
wanna say, I think-
he did documentaries for Vice and shit before.
Wasn't
Okay, I
50
like that.
Cent gonna like executive producer at some point or
Probably.
something?
I think that might have
would.
been a different one, or isn't that the movie? Either way, I feel like
There's more?
I feel like
this
50
is
Cent
not
involved
like a
anymore.
story that people are desperate to hear about right now.
No one
The
cares.
story's played out. Like nobody is talking about him right now. If they had
Yeah.
dropped that documentary like when he was on his little run,
Yep.
dropping the fucking song with Nicki and shit, people might have been really like into checking it out then. But I feel like the story's just overdone right now.
Or I feel like that's just something that like people will care about in like 10 years maybe. Like
Exactly.
nobody cares about it right
it's
now.
too soon
Yeah.
and then also too early. No, too soon and too late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just this
Too soon and too late.
Anyone
Yeah.
who's interested in the 6ix9ine story has realistically been paying attention
Everyone
to it
fucking
through
knows.
academics and World Star.
Yeah, it's like,
and
what do I
whatever,
need to
like-
watch a compiled version of this for?
Yeah, and
Exactly.
also like if you really are interested in the 6ix9ine story, like there's so much you could have watched. All his ex homies do No Jumper. You could have watched his baby mama do Vlad and No
You
Jumper.
could have watched Trapler Ross do a
But the one thing I
three-video
will say about that
breakdown.
documentary is that they do an incredible job of mapping out exactly who he was tapping in with, because like they talk to like the first people that like actually like told them how to rap and stuff. So they
Like Zillakami
I
and
was gonna
them?
say
no, before all
Before
that,
that.
and then they do Zillakami and like
They're-
fucking that
they're-
whole era.
Are
too.
they in the interview? I mean, in the
I don't know
movie?
if they actually
Is
interviewed
6ix9ine
Zillakami.
like interviewed?
No, they asked him. They hit up his team trying to get him to speak for the interview, and he actually denied it, which is kind of crazy to me because
Why would you deny
he got
documentary,
denied
bro?
doing Breakfast Club. He got denied doing fucking Vlad or whatever. Like he tried to do every like mainstream hip hop thing,
How
and
could-
they all turned him down. He had to do Shade Room, and he had to
Shade
do
Room one
Logan
was
Paul
so
and
weird.
shit.
I didn't
watch that
even
one, but-
Logan
try to
Paul's
watch
kinda
it.
good.
I
didn't
saw the
even-
Logan Paul one,
I saw that one.
but I was like, wow, this is so funny that he went and did a Logan Paul interview because he knew for a fact that Mike and Logan Paul don't know enough about
Yeah, for
rap
sure.
and shit to
Exactly.
really be able to call him out on his shit. So he was able to sit there and talk to the TikTok audience and be like, hey, I'm such a big bad cool dude, whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, the documentary is definitely worth watching. And also, I have had a lot of people hit me up saying like, oh, I saw you in that documentary, and people like hitting me on Facebook and shit. People who like
Yeah.
would not ever
Have
have
seen you
known
in
about the
anything else.
6ix9ine thing otherwise. Like very middle America type audience has Hulu apparently.
Maybe that's that's probably who's probably watching
But
it.
who the fuck is sitting at home on Hulu like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch this documentary about some weird face tattoo kid tonight? Like,
I mean,
I
if
don't
you're,
know.
I feel like if my mom knew how to work Hulu and she was just like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
I've seen this guy
exactly.
before.
They've definitely heard his name or heard
Yeah.
about him or like seen his like that's a memorable face, you know?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Thank
but,
God you ended up with Blasey, not him.
Thank God you ended up with Lena and Lot.
And
and
Sarah
not-
Molina.
I wish I would have ended up with Sarah Molina. Anyway,
You still working on that?
no. I commented on her.
She's so pretty.
I commented on her Instagram the other day, and someone was like, "Housephone's been trying for like a year.
It's been like 6
at
months.
least acknowledge him or something." I'm just like, dude.
Did she unfollow
honestly,
you yet?
No, I still got to follow. Calm down. I feel like, dude, the fans. I know. Ugh. I need. I think that's about to be my new end.
Give her a signature line, like the same thing, but
Fashion Nova.
make them like a little pink on the sole or some shit.
I already
like,
told Kim she could have a signature pink pair.
there you go.
No, but yeah,
You're gonna do a collab with her so you can get in with her.
no,
just make her some customs.
Nah, just know I'm about to tap in with the Claremont twins too. Send them like, yo, what colors y'all want? Send them some custom pairs.
I love that.
Wow, there you
feel
go.
me?
The Claremont twins.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about people who have been trolling the internet recently. Kind of comparable to 6ix9ine. Quando Rondo goes to visit Chicago. He's posting up with guns. He's acting big and bad.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like he's going.
Decision.
I feel like he was going the exact route that like he probably shouldn't have went with this.
I mean, it's a problem for him because on one hand, in hip hop, normally like when you are the one who's responsible for basically like killing someone who was trying to do harm to you, typically in hip hop, like if we look at Gucci Mane as an example, I mean like Gucci, his career clearly got a boost from him having that storyline and that notoriety. Like people view him in an entirely different light because of that body that he caught. The thing about that is, I think even around that time, Gucci was emerging as the more liked artist, and Jeezy was becoming the less liked one. The difference between Quando Rondo and King Von is that King Von is like 10 times, or was 10 times more popular than Quando Rondo.
Yeah.
So if this situation was completely reversed, and if King Von his people had shot Quando Rondo for punching him in the face, I think it would be a drastically different.
Oh man.
Reaction to this. I think it's just like a pure likability thing at the end of the day, and that's the unfortunate for Quando Rondo because it's not like anything he could do is going to help him to get over that hump of just people liking Vaughn more.
And I feel like he doesn't realize that, so he's like going out of his way to like prove shit to fans and shit. Like he had a show in Macon, Georgia, and he like got on live with the promoter and was like, "Look, promoter, tell them that the deputies canceled the show and it wasn't me." And like, look, and then the fans called out that the date.
On the
date on
camera.
which means nothing because
The security
Those
camera, they don't
security
update
cameras are
that
all
shit.
fucked
all
up.
the time.
Who the fuck updates
That's
that?
what I was thinking too. Yeah.
But I'm also not gonna go online and defend him and be like, wait, that happens all the time, like But it's like, but that's probably a thing that if it was like again, if the roles were reversed, there would be people coming to his defense and being like, no, you fucking idiots! Like cameras have fucked up dates all the time or whatever. Like it's just, I feel like he's just doing too much to try to like prove.
Which is crazy because, like, in the court of law, he was like proved innocent. So it's like,
But isn't his homie still in jail?
His homie-
well, his
still
homie
facing
is,
that charge,
but he's not.
Yeah,
I
because he
just-
didn't do anything. He has
I'm not
nothing.
saying he did anything, but they were trying to put him into the mix
Of course
with all
they
of
were.
that, of course,
Yeah.
And it's like you got out skate free or whatever the phrase is.
Scot free.
Skate
free.
Skate free, whatever.
Skate 3.
Scabies.
Skate 3.
Okay, go ahead.
But now you're doing all this to like, I don't know. I think it's a bad look, and he should just.
All right, to
get out of
me,
the-
he has to talk about it in the music.
He already did that.
Can you see?
But no one's listening,
Okay,
remember?
but two different options right here. Put out, which he basically did, put out a song saying "fuck you," like you got
But he-
killed, whatever.
he kinda tried to do both in one
or
song.
put out a song and get soft and emotional about it and talk about how Vaughn didn't deserve to die and you wish that situation didn't go down like it went or
He
whatever.
tried to do both in that same song.
Yeah, but I feel like at the end of the day, the whole thing with being a rapper is that anything that happens, you have to own it.
Yeah.
You cannot really get away as a rapper with expressing like shame or regret. It doesn't really work that much. It's like you kind of need to own the thing. So like Gucci, I saw Gucci kind of like hold back on rapping about the killing and everything for a period of time, and then it just sort
it
of
was
seemed
years.
like it's like whatever. Like fucking, he has to own up to what actually happened. He has to sort of like boldly talk about the fact that he killed somebody. It's like you kind of can't be a rapper unless you're willing to take that sort of disposition.
You can't skate like between the lines. You got to pick a side.
And it doesn't really like
Damn.
work, It's like it's hard to be a rapper and
never thought about
express
it like
that you're
that.
sort of like unsure or that you feel regret about something you did or whatever. It just doesn't usually like play into the persona that they're
Yeah.
putting out there,
You
Yeah.
gotta
no,
be
you are.
like Sada Baby and just own the fact that you said What did he say again?
I
All
don't
his
know.
tweets.
Oh, right.
All the crazy
like
shit.
all gay people.
What did he
should
say?
die.
Like Nicki Minaj needs to die or some shit? I don't remember.
He's like all
no, he didn't say that.
crazy-
I mean,
all
the
gay people
craziest.
go to hell.
no, but we could do that too. We could talk about Sada Baby and Doughboy getting it in because
Whoa, I didn't see that at all.
Oh yeah, well Doughboy put out multiple videos because basically Sada put up something saying who you want to see me work with, or a fan page put it up, I think, saying who you want to see Sada Baby work with, or some hip hop outlet, and a bunch of people commented Doughboy. And then Sada Baby responds to them, and he says, like, fuck you, like, that's not happening. No, not fuck you, but he's basically saying, nah, not happening.
I wonder why, though.
And then Doughboy put out these cryptic videos sort of saying, like, you know, I was cool to you. I know you. I know why you don't like me. Tell him why you don't like me. Like, tell him why I didn't want to put that shit out there. I didn't want to expose it to the world, yada, yada, yada. But tell the world why I don't like you, or why you don't like me. And I don't
Something
even know
about
if
some
Sada
girl.
actually responded, but apparently they had some kind of secret beef. I don't know exactly what they're talking
It's
about.
always over a girl. I'm telling
A
you.
girl occurred to me that definitely would make sense,
Someone fuck somebody's bitch.
you know? But I don't know. And then what's funny about it is that Doughboy hit me, and he goes, what's up with your boy?
Talking about Sada.
And I'm like, okay, that is my boy, but not like that. Like, I don't like.
I mean, he's been here
he's not consulting with me about like what rappers he doesn't get along with, you know. But like, honestly, Sada has shown me and AD and shit like a crazy amount of love. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So I mean,
It's ridiculous that you just tried to not claim that he wasn't your boy.
no, he's definitely my boy, but he's not on my boy that like we don't share our lists of rappers that we don't get along with or anything. Like him and Doughboy having issues is news to me. I read about it in the news just like everybody else.
Yeah, that's a fact, huh?
Although I did say maybe we won't cover this beef on our Instagram. Although
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Just
Honestly.
covered it right now.
we covered it right now, but we didn't cover it on the Instagram. I just was like, this doesn't necessarily. I don't know. Like, is this like a beef people care about? It's always weird trying to make that judgment call, like what you're going to post on Instagram. So much of it is like,
Was it
Do people
widely
care?
covered? Because I didn't hear about
I was
it.
about to say I didn't even know this was a thing until you just
guys
said
are
it.
very out of the loop apparently because it was everywhere. Yeah,
I don't know about
it's
that.
on academics. It's on.
I don't follow academics. Fuck him.
Why not?
I don't.
If you want to know what's going on in rap, that's a good Instagram.
I know,
If
but-
you're not following the No Jumper Instagram, which is about to hit 1.9 million.
I was gonna say at this point I just followed you. I followed our Instagram because post
Put your
pretty much the
academics
same
hatred
shit.
aside and talk to me. How do you
I
feel
don't
about
even
everyday struggle coming to an end of an era?
saw it
Felt like it
coming.
kind of ended a while ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't watched that show pretty much since Joe Budden was on it.
The views
No,
have not
I
been
got-
great lately.
I
From
got
me paying attention. I went and sort of browsed through it. And
What's
I
my
was
guy's
like,
name?
Doesn't look great.
Wayno.
Wayno.
I fuck with Wayno.
I fuck
I'm
with
a
Wayno
I like
too.
Wayno a lot.
I think that Wayno being
and
a really
Nadeska. Shout out Nadeska too.
I think Wayno being a really nice, good guy that everybody seems to like was like kind of part of the problem because
Really?
academics going to war with Joe Budden was like consistently entertaining. Wayno and academics seem like they get along too good. They don't really like.
But I feel
I've
like-
never seen them argue. They never
No.
went viral for arguing about anything.
they
I
never
don't
went
think,
viral
ever.
for it, but I've definitely seen Wayno call him out like on some stupid shit.
But that's like the worst that I've seen is that Wayno sort of like inferring that academics was like wrong or being goofy about
Yeah, that's a
something.
fact.
I've never seen him really like
go crazy.
They never,
go
like,
crazy
yell
on
at each
him,
other
you
and
know.
shit,
And
yeah.
like with Joe Budden, it was like he would frequently basically yell at academics or like there was so much conflict and tension during those early time everyday struggle.
I think,
But
like who could follow up Joe Budden?
Yeah.
okay,
You know,
true.
They tried with that Star guy.
They could have picked that Star guy.
He was
They
fucking
could have
weird.
picked somebody more contentious. Star obviously would have
weird.
been somebody, but I think Star went way over the top. Too contentious. His first fucking episode, he tried to blame him for kids getting killed in Chicago or whatever.
Yeah,
that was
kinda
intense,
nuts.
dude.
and like whatever he said about Nadeska, that was weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was like, oh, I wanted to like sniff her seat.
Yeah,
or
but he
something.
said that before he even got the interview for that. But either way, like
How did he know who Nadeska was before that?
because the show already existed.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot.
But the thing was that there was fucking weird to me was the fact. Oh yeah, so academics commented more about why he actually ended up deciding. I think it was primarily probably his decision. He decided that he didn't really want to work for Complex anymore because of the way that the Chrissy Teigen situation went down and the way that the Freddie Gibbs situation went down. Because he felt like. Because Freddie was like really violating academics, like basically saying to smack the shit out of him and all this crazy ass stuff, like very extra extreme stuff. And then Complex, I guess, gave
like
him an
reposted.
award and they were like really fucking with him and like kind of laying it all out there that they were like really fucking with him and that like.
But like, what do you think this company is supposed to like?
Okay, but Charlemagne had a good point where there was dozens of rappers that beef with him, but then he'll sit there and play. He has to play their music on the radio.
Yeah.
Like it just is what it is.
That just is what it is. Yeah.
It's a huge conglomerate of a company versus one like employee.
He got fucking
there.
nominated for a Grammy this year. You think that like they're gonna
not talk about him? Yeah,
talk
there's
about
no
him?
way.
Yeah, and it's like if he really puts out an album that everybody working at Complex, like who knows how many people are really involved in like what music they support. But yeah, at a certain point, it's like, of course, if everybody fucks with this album, then they're just gonna have to acknowledge it, dude.
Think about how many people in that office that probably hate him that like love Freddie Gibbs' music.
And that's what I wonder is like when Academics goes in there or was going in there, which obviously hasn't been for a while since they've been working from home, which I wonder if that made it a little bit more of a strain on the relationship. But I wonder if he was going in there and feeling like when he looked over at the people writing articles or like the people, because he's got to like when he sees people talking shit about him on Twitter, I'm sure that there's some percentage of them that work at Complex or whatever. Like I wonder if he really felt like he had like real friction and conflict. Like I don't know, if you're somebody like Academics, like I think that opportunity of him doing that show helped make him way bigger, because you kind of remember that at that time his face wasn't really known that well. He was really like known more in this YouTube world. And then all of a sudden he was put on this platform with Joe Budden. He got like 1,000,000 times more famous because of Complex.
That's a fact.
What the fuck is Complex doing for him now, a few years removed from that? You know, like he's still doing the everyday struggle thing. It's not really getting views. It's not going viral. Meanwhile, he's got his own platform. And I just feel like if he puts his own effort into his own platform, it's going to yield way bigger returns for him
100%,
than doing work for Complex.
Even
dude.
after he started the show, like his output on YouTube is like drastically different. It's like I barely see him post.
Okay, and think about a piece of content like him interviewing Track, King Von's manager. He got like 3 million views on that interview. He could have took that interview to Everyday Struggle and said, "Oh, I think that we should do this interview here." Granted, it worked a lot better, I think, as an Academics interview. But I mean, he could have brought it to them. But even just that as a microcosm, like you bring Complex the idea, they're going to do the fucking piece of content, and then they're going to make money off of it forever. And then you do it on your own channel, and you get to make all the money from the YouTube, and like that's just 1,000,000 times more beneficial.
It
like
makes
he doesn't
sense.
need them for the exposure anymore. You know,
that's a fact. Yeah.
I think he got all that he needed from or can get from Complex.
Damn, now that you think about it, I watched both of those interviews, the King Von one and the Track one on his channel.
But then right there, it's kind of like, well, who does Complex have as on-camera talent that anybody gives a fuck about anymore? Because we all remember kind of like the era of like Complex News and fucking Emily Oberg and all them. And
shout out to her.
You know,
she left very early on.
She left a long time ago. But like, do they have anybody that?
But then
it's hard to hold on to talent.
I don't think that they have any kind of talent like that besides like what Joe LaPuma, who does like.
I fuck with
Speedy.
I fuck with Speedy too. Shout out
Does he
Speedy.
do anything on camera for them at this
point?
Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez. No, Speedy Mormon. God damn it.
Is that his last name? Really?
Yeah, Speedy Mormon.
Yeah, shout out Speedy.
Gonzalez. That's bad.
And then
I thought you were joking.
No.
Oh, and then shout out Rax. Shout out Rax Hogan. He does a lot of streetwear shit. And then that nigga's funny as fuck.
You gotta wonder what the morale is with Complex, because it doesn't feel like they ever really found their way with YouTube. Like they had like multiple things that went successful, but then I don't know.
Just know if Complex offered me a bag, see you, no jumper chain. Complex chain coming soon.
That's understandable. But no, Hot Ones and fucking
what's
sneaker shopping.
What's that guy's name?
That's pretty much it. Sean Evans.
Shout out Sean Evans.
Yeah. Those are the two that have really stuck around.
Hot Ones is kind of like
its own fucking thing,
holding up the whole brand,
the whole food vertical that I hate. Yeah,
first we feast.
I'm just so over watching YouTube videos about food.
Yeah, because I get hungry when I watch it. So I'm like,
I've watched a lot of videos about food. I've just realized at a certain point, like I never need to see somebody teach me how to put a chicken in the oven again, or like make some eggs or something. Like I feel like I kind of get it.
It's like,
I don't need to watch anyone make eggs because I know how to do that. But if I want to make something like elaborate that I don't know how to make, then I definitely.
But instructional type cooking content is one thing, and I think that like clearly with Hot Ones and shit, they're aiming for something beyond that, where they're trying to make content that goes around food, but that doesn't really like necessitate you looking for a recipe to go watch it.
Because I'm like, why do I? If I've seen 5 episodes of Hot Ones, I've seen pretty much all of them.
I've never.
That's
watched
not true, because it's an interview series. It has nothing to do with the wings.
I'm just saying,
That's like
like
saying if you've seen 5 Vlad interviews, you've seen every Vlad
no, that's
interview.
a fact. But it's just like, do I really care about Chris Rock eating?
But it has nothing to do with the wings. Like, if anything, with
I know.
Hot Ones, they've made it less and less about the wings as it's gone on. Whereas sometimes you'll watch one of those interviews and it's like,
You forgot that they're
they'll like
eating.
mention it a little in the beginning, and then like at the end, maybe they're eating one and it gets too hot or whatever. But it's much more of like an optional part of the content. I feel like at this
Well,
point.
I don't think it's optional. I think that's like the
No,
whole
but it
bait.
is, because there are episodes where they don't really talk about the wings that much, and then there are episodes where the wings are like the entire episode.
I mean, the hotness of the wing is the whole
Right,
basis
but
of the
frequently,
show.
if you actually watch it, there are episodes where the wings don't really get mentioned that much, and
Apparently
it's
Lil
not like the
Yachty
main thing.
ate, like,
right,
hot
his
wings
is an
for the
example.
first-
Right,
first time on
his was an
That's
example
kinda
of one
crazy.
where it was like the whole thing. Yeah, but Yachty doesn't eat anything. He
Yeah,
only
that's
eats
a
corn
fact.
dogs and pizza.
It's insane.
I kind of love that. That's also like Rob Banks said he only eats like candy and drinks lean.
I always meet people that say that. And
I don't think
that is
that's
so
actually
gross.
true. I don't think
Yeah.
that's actually true.
It might be true for a while.
Can't
When I was a
eat that
kid,
much
I'll probably
candy.
eat candy all day some days.
Like if you're hanging out at the skate park and you're going to 7-Eleven, you're getting an Arizona and some chips and candy.
Yeah, because chips and fucking like
That's like a whole meal.
It's not that different. Yeah, it's like really, it's all like so lacking in nutrition that it's basically
All the
nothing.
same
Candy.
shit. But yeah, but at a certain point, it's like you got to grow up and eat actual food.
Yeah,
And get some actual.
I've known a lot of people. I knew a dude who, like a pro BMX dude, Tom Dugan, who would always brag about how he only drank Dr. Pepper and had
Ew.
no interest in water at all.
That's so.
And then
fucking
finally
weird.
one day he had to start drinking water.
Yeah,
I heard
of course.
I heard Rio said something about he hates water in the song too.
Yeah, rappers always say that though. I don't drink water. I drink lean.
Okay, that's kind of crazy. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay,
I'm not
Okay,
doing
man.
coke. I promise.
I have
Yeah.
to pee too.
Prove
I've
it.
been holding it.
empty out your fucking fuzzy pants pockets.
Why is he fuzzy now?
I don't know. All right, Kim, take a look at this list. What do you think is actually worth discussing off of this list?
Oh, well, I think we should wait for him, but Playboy Cardi, definitely.
Preview song with K9. I didn't listen
I
to
think
that,
he
to be
means
honest.
Kanye, and yes,
Kanye.
I listened to that.
I did not hear that.
I forgot it already, though. It's like, to the moon. But wait, what do you think about, they thought I was gay?
Yeah, they thought I was gay. I'm so just not impressed. I need to hear a song that actually sounds good. I'm not going to get impressed by just like, oh,
You know what song
his
I was
voice sounds
impressed
neat.
by? Fuck, I forgot how it goes, but Mario Judas.
His
Mario
Playboy
Judas.
Cardi
Whole Lotta
attempt
Red.
at taking that clout. Yeah, I've seen.
it.
I believe Yadig has been the one plastering that all over the No Jumper Instagram. Shout out to Yadig. He's been killing it on there.
I didn't know that he's actually like doing the
Oh yeah,
the Instagram now.
I
Shout out
think
to him.
he's the one that when you see a Mario Judah post go up, or if you see anything that's like
Cardi.
Uzi / Cardi Hive type stuff, if you see something that looks like it was on the Cardi Reddit,
Yeah.
it's probably Yadig. Also, Yadig can't move here. We're trying to move him out here, and now he's got to fucking wait to finish his. He's got to graduate or some shit.
High school?
Australia's fucking with him now. College shit. I don't know.
Interesting.
University.
Wow, you're gonna like sponsor someone's visa and everything?
I don't
That's
think it's that
crazy.
big a deal. We just have to like basically.
Really? I thought you have to like sponsor their work visa.
The information that he asked us for was not that crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, Josh had to do a lot of work, you said?
Okay, good. Thank you.
But
Because
are
I'm
we
like,
sponsoring a work visa? No.
We were taking over a sponsored one, and that couldn't happen. So now we
Taking over a sponsored visa. Okay.
still have to apply for it.
Makes sense.
weird. Yeah, because when I tried to live out in London, it got really way too complicated. I had to get like a company to like sponsor my visa, and it's gonna be expensive.
Remember when I went to
and-
Australia and they
much.
fucking didn't give me the visa until the last minute, so I had to miss those shows in New Zealand? That was
I
a
remember
fucking
that.
nightmare.
That's crazy. I was about to get booked for one of those like moving festival things. That seems to be
Yeah.
a thing there.
Like
Yeah.
a traveling circus.
Traveling music festival circus.
She's going to ride an elephant.
I need a pee.
I could imagine. You have to pee too? We got to synchronize our pee break soon.
Gotta
I kind of
synch-
got one brewing too, but I feel like we're getting close to the end here. So
Getting close to the end, we got to rock it out. What happened to that fucking clock thing that used to be right there? It was very helpful.
yeah, what did happen to that?
It had to move because of the outlets.
And
Josh said it had to move because of the
I
outlets.
think that the sign, like, okay, do you think that the clock should read how long this piece of content is, or should it read the time?
I think it both gives us an idea of how long. Because like if we know we start at 6, and if it's like 7:30, we're like, all right, we're
Yeah.
getting close to it.
I
you know?
just feel like when in my mind, I have interviews that I'm doing that are like supposed to be a half hour. I have interviews that are supposed to be an hour and a half in my mind. So if it was just the time, because then you always kind of have to be doing like a little bit of extra math in your head, like 6 plus an hour and a half is 7:30.
yeah, I mean,
Back's to this most of the time.
my bad.
What?
Your back is into this
Yeah, I glance.
I look at it every time. It's like directly in front of me. That's why.
It is.
You know what else isn't directly in front of our faces that we just need to consume?
Dicks.
No. Well, I guess because he's a gay vampire. Playboy Cardi.
I just talked about that with Kim a little bit.
Fuck,
But why not?
did you?
No, but I've been super checked out. Like the only thing I heard was they thought I was gay, and then like I've heard like tiny little. It sounds
He's a
so like
snippet
not
god.
interesting to me at this point that I'm kind of checked out. I feel bad about
How
that.
could you not be? This nigga has
thought I
not
was gay.
posted on. He has not posted on
Just
social
admit
media in like 3
you
years.
Hate
Let him. We
popular
gotta
rappers.
stop with the
Okay,
interrupting.
sorry.
Like,
It's because you hate Playboy Cardi, you hate Travis Scott, you hate any like cool.
I
Young.
do not hate
person.
Playboy Cardi. I listen to Die Lit. I like Die Lit. I haven't heard anything
That
I
was
was
You've been
2 years
interested in
waiting on
since.
his demise.
That's not true. I wasn't waiting on his demise. I just have to speak accurately about what's going on.
He was
and it feels like
trending-
his career is kind of in a state of demise
That's
based
because
on his last few songs.
You just okay, all right. But if you were, I'll give you that. If you were online at all the last week, then you would have saw that he was trending on Twitter. He was fucking
I
all
saw
over
that.
every. He
That
was
doesn't
just-
mean anything about
What
his
do you
music
mean?
doing well.
That-
Trending
dude.
on Twitter, people trend on Twitter all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
he-
Whose music does not do well.
He was trending
Kelsey
because
Nicole was trending.
He
on
was
Twitter.
trending because of like he just had the
He
whole
hasn't put
internet
music
in
out.
uproar.
He's trending, but it doesn't have anything to do with how that music's going to perform.
It was
trended a
being-
million times.
You're not even letting me finish. He was being received like the snippets that he was posting was being received very well.
People
I
seemed
haven't seen
excited.
that.
People are fucking
Yeah, people
super
were
excited.
really excited. They really thought it was gonna drop this week or whatever.
haven't
last
seen
week.
We don't know
any
when
of
it's coming
the
out.
excitement myself personally. I believe that there's
He fucking
excitement,
posted
but
a picture of Gilbert.
Did he post a
AKA
picture or
Onyx.
did he just get the name wrong?
He spelled
No.
it fucking Gilbert wrong.
And it took him a half
No,
hour to get
he-
the name right.
He posted a picture with. If you follow him on Instagram,
if he spelled his kid's name wrong,
that was on Twitter.
but that's like
Spell
he spells
check.
everything wrong.
yeah, and it could have just been spell check. Who cares?
But I
think
mean,
he doesn't have spell
Onyx
check
would
on.
probably get. Yeah, he cannot have spell
He's
check on.
not-
Imagine
yeah.
how long it would take to write those tweets if it was trying to autocorrect his
right?
shit.
With the pluses and all that shit.
You know that Cardi doesn't want that autocorrect shit on his shit.
I turned my.
You know what was super funny is like I told that bitch, shut up, my baby crying, my son crying. He
No,
like tweeted
was that a lyric or that was just a tweet?
He just
right?
tweeted
He
it, and then
Iggy.
Iggy Azalea was
Just clout
like,
chasing. She got to go out here and act like that's fucking directed at her.
Like,
It's
how
it could
would
be
that
about
be-
any- You don't
that
think
could
he
be-
got new bitches over?
yeah, right. Like that could be about any random bitch.
I'm sure
that was,
part of the problem between their relationship was him having bitches over, or at least dealing with bitches in general at some point, right?
Well, maybe that's why she was mad because she was like, "Oh, really? You got bitches around our son?"
Are you dying for the Iggy album now to hear her
Fuck
address
no.
this? I'm
Hell
more
no.
excited for the Iggy album than a whole lot of red.
Yo, you're
I
fucking.
doubt
Yo,
she
I
would
can't.
A lot of
ever talk
Australia.
about
I
it.
can't. I can't be associated with this man. This nigga is crazy.
All I'm saying is that I'm very much withholding judgment. If the album's hot, the album's hot. I'm
Did
not
you
going to
hear?
deny
Did
it.
you hear the snippet with Kanye? With
No.
him and Kanye?
No,
oh my
I'm
fucking
kinda
god!
checked out.
No, okay.
I'm not really a snippet guy, to be honest.
I know
hate
me.
snippets.
Me
I don't really
no,
go out of my
But
way.
I like. They thought I was gay.
I rarely
That shit
go
was-
out of my way to
when
listen
I
to a
heard
snippet.
when I heard
I
the
like
wake
that.
up filthy tag, I was like, ah!
My least favorite thing is when people try to send me shit before it comes out.
Oh no, dude!
Like, I'm not doing it.
Certain
I don't
people
care.
can't get away with that,
Yeah.
but Cardi
Certain
is a
people,
nigga
sure.
that can get away with it.
Certain
definitely
people,
can.
you know, like, but certain people, like,
Because if he drops that song with Kanye tomorrow, it will go viral.
I don't need to know about music unless everybody else is going to hear it too. Because if I've heard about it and nobody else has heard about it, then I'm that dickhead on the
Nope.
podcast. Oh man, I heard this unreleased Thug the other day, bro. That shit was
No.
so crazy.
Give me the
That's
20-second
everybody.
snippet. Give it to
Everyone
me.
says that shit, and it's so corny. I never want to be the guy saying like, bro, I heard this new unreleased Griselda. The shit's so stupid.
No, that
just
shit
shut
is
up.
stupid.
Nobody, you don't need to say that ever.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's,
that's a
there's
fact.
a
It means
That's a fact.
nothing to the
There's
people.
a difference between an
snippet.
unreleased fucking Griselda album and a snippet that Cardi posted on Instagram.
For like 20
That's
seconds.
And
fair, but
everyone
I'm just talking about
everyone-
how I don't care about.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
care
yeah.
even less about unreleased music than I do about the leaks of the little snippets.
I love those.
Maybe I'm
I
just
love
getting
them.
old, but I do not want to hear
That's
this
like a
shit
part of the
15 seconds
game.
at a time.
That's part of the Cardi game because it's
Yeah,
like
for sure.
They thought I was gay. What's it called? Went viral. And remember how much Stummy Hurt went
My
crazy?
stomach hurt. That song
But
never
was-
even came
but
out.
That was that ever like a
No, it
recorded
wasn't.
song? That was
No,
just
it
him
wasn't.
saying that over
That
a
was
beat,
him.
was-
right?
No. It was.
It
It,
wa-
it
it
was
was-
like
Let
a.
him talk.
it was
Come on,
another snippet.
you guys got to stop doing this talking at the same time thing.
Okay,
It's
listen.
crazy.
It was an edit because I know I'm the Cardi master over here. It was an edit for another song, and then that broke away, and it was like the actual VHS of him just being like my stomach hurt. It was that part was not from the actual song at all.
That's what I figured.
You're right.
Yeah, because it felt like that.
That's exactly what it
not a
was.
snippet.
You know, like when you watch a music video and they like cut the audio out and it's like everyone rapping the song at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that, but just him saying my stomach hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I have liked songs on SoundCloud where it was like Pierre Bourne previews a song on his Instagram Live. Someone takes that Instagram Live, redoes the drums, and then uploads on SoundCloud.
They like remaster it.
Yeah,
mix it up,
remaster,
yep.
recued.
I've seen like Chief Keef ones where they've taken so many different little chunks from different Instagram lives and shit and just put it together so many times that you could hear it, but it's like, I mean, that is no way to listen to music. Like, I'm a real stickler for quality. Like, I don't want to listen to music on my fucking laptop. I want to listen either with headphones in the car, or on good speakers. Like,
no, for sure. No, I
that's it.
1000% give you that. But I feel like it's such a new level of fandom and being like, oh, we want to like piece this. Like it's like these people are really dedicated to the artist. So I'm looking at it as like, damn, someone cares that much to go out of their way to do that. It's kind of tight. I fuck with it.
Yeah. No, I respect that they're doing it. I just personally don't give a fuck. I'll listen to the album when it comes out. I was actually getting fucking on Thursday night. I was like, oh my God, am I really going to have to listen to this album when I heard it was coming out? I'm like, I have to listen to this like right now. I have to put this baby down, go in the other room, leave the baby to her own devices, and listen to a whole lot of Red, even though I already am kind of thinking that I'm not going to like it that much.
So you're just going into it with just like
into it with that attitude.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
No, I just he just let me down. He let me down like a bunch of times.
Have you heard the new song with him, Yachty, and Future?
Yes, and I thought that sounded very good. But
that shit was fucking cranking.
His wasn't
Are you
the
joking?
part that I was the most excited about.
I ran that shit back 90 fucking times.
You're right. That was one Cardi song that I heard in recent memory. But then he also said he didn't even remember making it.
I know. That's
he didn't really say a whole lot of anything. It was I love coffee. I love drinking the lean.
He don't have to say every. He don't have to say anything.
He really doesn't.
That shit is fucking gas.
I think that's the error right there. Is if he thinks that he can put out an album right now and not say anything.
Did you not see the reception of that song? People were freaking out.
If he puts out a whole album
of that would be amazing.
Nothing. No, it is not. He's
he's
way too deep in his career to say nothing on this album. And if he does, it's not going to work out well for him. That's my prediction. He was able to get by on aesthetic for a long time.
I think he's still doing it.
I think that the timeline is running slow on that because it's just at a certain point people want to see growth. And if he gives you another album of dope beats and then him sort of like squeaking out like nonsensical ad libs, there has to be a shelf life on that. It can't keep working forever.
If he comes out on a song tomorrow and he says, "I told that bitch shut up, my son crying," that's not like a lyrical genius bar, but people are gonna eat that up because it is growth. It's showing him as a fatherhood, and it's fucking Cardi as a father. Listen, it's gonna go crazy.
What you can get away with on a feature, like what he did on that fucking Yachty song,
that shit was hard.
But that was fun. That was a nice little moment, but he can't.
I almost crashed
he can't do 12 of those and call it an album.
I almost crashed it. I mean, he's not going to do 12 of those. Like, have you heard any of his other albums?
I think that the need for people to see him grow is going to be so strong that if he just makes a project that's a bunch of, you're acting like you've never paid attention to any rapper before. They need to see growth. You can't just put out the same album over and over.
Because his growth is a different sense of growth. It's like, okay, he's fucking trying out like these high pitched voices. He's using different ad libs. He's doing different sounds. He's like, it's growth. It's just not in like the traditional sense of growth.
I just think
it doesn't sound the same at all.
That's what he's gotten by on the last project, and I just don't think that people are going to stay engaged if he doesn't give them something more interesting.
He's not going to go baby voice this whole album. I think people are over. People are over that shit for sure.
I think that's him. His squeaky weird ass voice for sure. He's not using regular ass squeaky voice.
If you would have heard any of the snippets that he released, there was no baby voice. It was 2015 Cardi.
I think even Cardi's regular voice is still kind of a baby voice to me.
I sometimes can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Very babyish.
When I heard that one, when I heard this most recent song with Yachty and Future, I'm going to be honest, it was really giving me Uno vibes. I'm going to be honest with you. And like, I mean, we could say that they knew each other very early on.
Well,
and like
you know who
made
probably
music
agrees with that?
Uno. Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I definitely could
I'm
see that.
gonna just be honest with you, and like because I've listened to their music both extensively.
Yeah.
It was to the point to where when that song "What" came out with him and
didn't
Cardi,
know who was who?
I didn't know who was who, and
Oh,
I,
yeah,
That's kinda how I
100%
felt, too.
true.
it's
Same.
indecisive. You
Yeah.
feel me?
I went on Rap Genius and had to be looking at
Yeah.
who was saying what part. And I also was like, if I go on Rap Genius, is this song going to be structured into like verse, hook, verse? And
Yeah,
it
'cause-
was. But they were almost exactly the same. It was a fucking mind-blowing
Yeah, yeah.
experience when I went and looked that song
You know
up.
what's funny too? I think right when that song "V Lone Thug" first came out, it said Playboy Cardi X Uno the Activist, and I was like, wait, is Uno even on this song at all? I don't know, but he came out and was like, "Oh yeah, fuck all that Cardi shit." Like, you know, Uno verse dropping. I think D Savage dissed him too. It was like, "Oh, this nigga look gay as fuck."
When I saw Kanye and Cardi as potentially being part of that of Whole Lotta Red, that just totally like changed my perspective of what kind
I wish
of
you would have
album
heard
this
can
might
I,
be.
Can I just play the snippet for you?
No.
Please?
No,
Because I'm
obviously
like,
not.
you don't even like, you didn't even get the feel of it of what they were gonna do.
Okay, but you can't play copyright stuff on the live stream.
How is it copyrighted? It's not even out.
I mean, does someone want to explain it to him?
I don't know. It's not out yet. I don't know.
It's on YouTube. It exists.
Okay, all right, for sure.
And even then, it's going to claim
all
to
right,
take it
whatever,
down later,
whatever.
But
Okay.
either way, it's like as soon as I saw that was what he was going to potentially be doing, like, is he going to make like a bigger album? Is basically what I started thinking as soon as I saw Kanye, because the kind of albums that Kanye makes are just like completely different than anything we've ever heard from Cardi before. And as soon as I see that
if you would
Kanye
have
could be
heard the
involved,
snippet, it's like
It's very
5 seconds of like Kanye like saying some random shit you can't even make out, and then it's like, okay, it's like if you fuse a Kanye beat with like a Pierre Bourne beat. That's exactly what it sounded like.
'Cause it's like Kanye's like cinematic type like big beats with like his like
With like it was hard.
It was that.
I
yeah.
think that if
so hard.
if
was
if
so
Cardi
hard.
does that kind of album where he brings in a lot of different people and makes like big
Like elements
songs
of
and
it,
makes
yeah.
it more interesting and shit, then I could see that working out for him.
Yeah.
I just feel like I just have been so underwhelmed by a lot of the stuff that I heard that it's just hard
just
for me to
can't
get
wait.
hyped
I
up at this
think he
point.
has
can't
literally
wait.
access to whoever the fuck, so like that's not gonna be out of the question. He can do whatever he wants.
I can't wait.
musically.
Yeah, Iggy's
He's
And
gonna
then
put-
feature.
on top of that, like, sorry, what?
Yeah, Iggy Azalea.
He's gonna
feature.
put like, he's gonna have like a Prince verse on there or some crazy shit.
Could have Michael Jackson, anything.
Oh my fucking god! I can't wait, dude. I'm so
I just think
excited.
like he was saying, his evolution is much different. He went from like a SoundCloud rapper to like a gay vampire.
But if
He's on some whole other shit.
If
Exactly.
but all I'm saying is that if
10-day opium
if
binge.
the evolution is weirder voices and like cooler
Yeah.
beats,
What did Young Thug
I think
do?
people are going to lose touch of that.
What did Young Thug do?
Young Thug is the greatest rapper of the last 10 years.
I
Like
think
watching the evolution of Young Thug as an artist has been like unbelievable, and that's such obvious growth in Young Thug.
Yeah.
Like you listen to the new Young Thug album, and then you listen to the Young
Yeah.
Thug albums from like 2011. I mean, the growth is so unbelievably evident.
You're
you
right.
can't put Cardi within a million miles of that.
I think
in my
that
opinion.
I think if you give Cardi enough time and you go into it with an open mind and you just receive the music as it comes and stop hating so hard.
Last two songs, trash.
He
last
just
two
put out a
songs.
song and it was fucking amazing.
No, last two
I still
songs.
really
That's
like
a verse.
Atme.
That's a verse, and he said he didn't remember writing it.
So the Drake song
I
wasn't a
don't think
verse?
He definitely wrote that.
No,
at
that
all.
shit sucked. I mean,
But that wasn't a verse though. That was a verse as well. That was a feature.
that was a Drake. No, that was a verse. Yes,
Yeah.
that was boring.
So yeah, okay, but
And then-
I wasn't asking if he was born or not, but I'm saying
I thought the Cardi one sonically was a little bit more exciting, but still, like, I just didn't think like if this is like what we can expect from the album, I'm not interested.
that song is probably on the album, but it's probably just
the
one.
Yachty song. It's on.
No.
Yachty's album.
I'm talking about
Atme?
at May.
I like that song.
That song is on the album,
love that
Well,
probably.
we already know he's gonna have a deluxe because every single rapper ever has a deluxe at this point.
Or is he too rare?
Too rare for the deluxe.
could be the one rapper to not do a deluxe.
Lil Yachty's deluxe came out, and that
I
song was
really
on
enjoyed
it.
it.
And honestly, that was one of the better deluxes that I've heard.
So what's the timeline of like how
It doesn't matter. You
You
could-
could put the deluxe out anytime and
could fucking
and
put
that
it out the
adds
next
to
day.
What, like the
Some of them wait
total album
months,
sales.
You could, yeah, because this one was months.
I went and listened to the Nav album. I hate deluxes. I'm going to be honest. I feel the same way Gunner
so
did.
sick of it.
But like,
Who's he gonna pull up on
with
you?
certain artists? Because there are some artists. Okay, like if Drake dropped an album and then dropped the deluxe, I would definitely go and listen to the deluxe the same way that I listened to the original one. But like, take Nav. I listened to that fucking Nav album,
Fire.
and then I went back to listen to it again the next day, and there was already a deluxe thrown on it.
How many more songs was added?
It was like an extra 15.
But that's
and
too much.
You know,
Way
it
too
was
much.
just
A lot of fucking
and from
songs.
Nav, because the thing is that Nav as a rapper keeps it basically pretty simple, and it's just like I would a million times rather hear a 10 song Nav project that is the best shit that he feels like he has than
Than, like,
20 songs, you know, or 30
Because-
songs. That's
Fucking
just
40 at
it's,
this
it's
point.
too much from some people.
How many songs was on the original album?
I forget exactly,
20.
but it was a lot.
And then they threw an extra 15 of
like
those
a-
same
that's like
type
a
of songs.
40
And
fucking album.
Didn't he
Fuck
go
no.
number one as a result, or was that was the previous,
previous
one, not
one.
the new one?
That was
but
the-
he did a deluxe for the new one too. I think. I
Yeah,
don't know.
this one, I don't think it went number one.
Which is why like I said, I like the Lil Yachty one because it was like 6 new songs. They all kind of had a different vibe.
Yeah.
And the car.
Shoreline Mafia too.
They did
Had,
deluxe?
They
had,
did a deluxe the other
only
day.
like
yeah.
5 or 6 more
But it's
songs
only
as
like
well.
5 or 6, so I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
pretty
thought-
funny though that they broke up and they can still do a deluxe.
Yeah, but even Phoenix, I think Phoenix said something like, "Oh, like you know, like I'm glad that those songs got to get out there. Like you know, those are songs that were recorded during good times. Those are songs that they
all seem
wanted
like-
out to the people.
They
You
all
feel me?
seem like they were like very old songs from what they were saying.
For sure.
I'm like,
They all
whoa,
seem really.
Why did it take so long?
Nah, but it was this one that like Rob Vicious produced, and it was just him rapping on it.
Uh-huh.
I honestly think that was the best one.
You want to know something though? Is that with Shoreline, like normally in rap, like secrets don't stay secret for very long. I still have no idea why those dudes don't fuck with each other anymore. But like you know,
And it's
also-
they apparently can't be around each other.
It's also unclear who fucks with who and who doesn't fuck with who.
It's crazy because I was just thinking about that too. It's just like in a group that big in terms of like them
Oh,
and their associates
and their friends and shit,
and
yeah.
everything, and especially like the connections
Stitch lip.
that
Stitch
we all
lip.
have with them too. It's just like
Stitch lip, baby.
I feel like there's a lot of people I could have asked, but I just
That's, like,
haven't
so
really bothered
invasive,
to
I feel
ask.
So
like.
invasive. I would never ask either of them that. No.
that's such a weird
I wouldn't
thing
ask
to
them.
ask.
I would just ask somebody on the
Ask somebody
peripheral
else.
of it, but I haven't really
You kind
bothered
of
to.
do ask them on.
Yeah.
You ask.
Yeah,
You
but-
ask both of
But
them.
ask
asking
both of
them
them.
on camera
Is
is
way
so
different.
much
Yeah,
different because you could
exactly.
imagine that if I asked OGZ that 20 minutes after we got off camera, he probably would have given me a totally different answer.
Yeah.
But also,
But also
if
he
he's
knows that-
serious
Also,
about
he-
keeping it low key, then he's not.
You
gonna
are
tell
not
me.
the nigga to tell anything
Tell
like
if
that.
you
yeah.
want a tight
If he
lip.
tells me he knows that he's basically allowing me to not say it, but
like,
sort of
allude to
spread
it.
the narrative. Yeah, because
Exactly.
he's unless he tells me like, hey. It's this really, really big thing. This cannot come out at all. Then I'm probably going to allude to it, you know?
I feel like it's very unlike you to not be your little fucking gossip
Investigative
girl.
self, yeah.
And
I haven't
like,
even
try
heard
to
this
find
Yachty
out.
album. I'm fucking dad moded out. I just
Yeah,
haven't
you
been
really
listening
are.
to enough music. It sucks. I actually
I mean,
gotta get
honestly,
on.
I was looking for it because of the Cardi song, and it took me a minute to even find it either. I didn't even know when it came out either. So
I really wait. What are you talking about? Yachty?
the Yachty Deluxe.
I like. Did you hear the Oliver Tree song? I like
Yeah,
that song. I like that song. A lot.
I don't really like that type of music though.
I
So
like that song a lot.
I could see it working for Yachty though, and isn't that Oliver
like-
Tree
I
guy
like
is
his-
huge, right?
It's on the
I like-
Yachty project?
Yeah.
Or it's on
Yes.
all the trees?
It's on Yachty's
Oh,
project.
Yachty's the
He also has
the
a song
deluxe.
with Coach Ice, Coach
Is that his
Cheese.
artist or something?
I don't know. I've heard this name before, but I don't know who he is.
I am going to listen to that album on the way home because I am a Yachty supporter. And I like just seeing him keep putting out shit that he actually likes. Do we have any Flint rappers on this project?
No, it's
no,
not. It's not a Flint album.
Yeah, it's not a
Interesting.
Flint album.
Unfortunately.
I think that's coming soon. I think that's the next tape from him. It has to be like a whole like Detroit tape.
But how
Did
is
he already drop one?
Whole Flint tape? No, he
Or
just
just
dropped
him
random
just
songs.
drawing-
Is
Yeah.
Yachty to
YouTube.
Flint what Drake is to the UK?
Yes, 1,000,000%.
Like he's
I
going to
love
be the
that.
one that pushes it over the top and
I
sort of spreads that sound.
I saw Nuke. Shout out Nuke or Nuck. I don't know his name, how to pronounce it, but he's a rapper that I fuck with from over that way. He was just saying that how like that sound, like how it's just lame that people are like regurgitating that sound and just like taking it from Rio and them, just like people were taking like Drago and Beano sauce when they first was coming out. But it's like,
how many weeks
That's
until
inevitable.
Drake hits up Rio?
wow, until Drake.
Can't imagine them
No
on a song
hell,
together.
bro. What if he tries to look alive Rio? I didn't even think of
He's
that.
got a project on the way. Rio's a perfect person for it. Nicki already got Sada. That's a way to be like, hey, I'm going to get my own Michigan guy, and he's even newer.
Oh my fucking god! What if
Imagine
Drake
Drake with-
look alive's Rio
Imagine.
and they make a
Drake
song
on
tomorrow?
a song with like RMC Mike.
Bro, Rio's Instagram story is amazing. Rio today, I'm watching it. He's like, yo, I really be thinking about it. Like, motherfuckers be eating lamb chops and shit. I be eating McDonald's. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? I love this shit. And I'm just like,
That's like
dude,
Phoenix.
I just want to be more like Rio. Like, I want to go on my Instagram story and just say whatever the fuck's going through my head.
Okay, wait. Can I apologize to you?
That interview was gas, right? Almost
Bro,
had 500,000 already.
That was literally people be like, oh, X interview, Suicide Boys, blah, blah. Throw that up there in the top 5.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
That shit was gas.
I felt
was
like
a good interview.
the way that there's a certain feeling I get after I do an interview with like dudes that I just think that was a classic right there.
Bro,
and that
that
Rio
was
one,
top 5. Top 5.
I just
fun.
wanted RMC Mike to clear his throat so bad.
I don't think he can.
When he
His
told
throat was
me,
like,
yeah, there's a rock in there. No, when he told me that
Like,
he
It got worse.
oh, yo, you know what was so funny? When I was interviewing Black Zach today, you know him? He's like
Yeah.
signed to the same shit as the baby. He said that when he was a kid, that he was walking around with rocks because he had heard people in songs be like, oh, they're selling rocks. So he like, I'm pretty sure he said he like literally got a handful of rocks and he was
Trying to
walking
sell
around with the
rocks.
rocks.
I love that.
Trying to sell some rocks. Anyway, yeah, like I don't know but that is like a question though, because all right, you know how I feel about the Flint sound right now? The Flint sound right now is what the Splurge sound was like a year ago. Remember how every fucking song you would hear would just be boom.
Like can I be
No
honest? You know
melody,
who
just
You know who
bass.
started that?
Who?
Huh? I said no melody, just
It's
bass.
just it's all what is
drums.
it? Snares and the
the
bass.
bass.
That's
Yeah,
it.
there was a Splurge wave. Well, I don't know if I should even put it on Splurge like
It was
that,
like
but
kinda
every
Texas-
song sounded like
Texas.
Splurge
Yeah.
for a minute.
No,
there.
that's a fact.
yeah.
Hey, let me hit that whole drip.
Well, it's kind of the Hood
Yeah.
Rich Pablo Juan sound too, like his flow.
With
that
the
he had for a
flow,
while. Yo, I
the
feel like
beats were like very. The beats were derivative of early Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy did that first. I'm gonna be honest.
oh man, you think you can just
Bro,
snatch that up? He's a snatcher.
I'll play you. No. I'll play you 2011's Soulja Boy songs where it's exactly like that. Just not the flow, but the beats of just the super simple beats of him just like.
Soulja put
going
out a new
crazy.
project. I actually would like to listen to
I
it
would
because
like
I would
to.
love to know what the fuck he's talking about right now. He's kind of in
dropped
his own.
already?
Yeah.
Wow,
He's in
that
his
shit
own fucking
good.
universe now. At this point, I feel like.
Okay, can we be honest? The people are right that we eventually talk about the same subjects every week of
Which one's this one?
of like Rio and Flint, Shoreline, and like
We
one
only
other
know
topic.
about so much stuff. It's a stretch when we're out here talking about Kelsey Nicole and shit, man. No, but you want to know what? I was just about to talk about. Fuck, what was it? I kind of have to pee at this point too.
Do you know, speaking of good interviews, which one I enjoyed?
What?
Draco on
Whoa,
Blood.
Draco.
I didn't know it was like 12 fucking
I
parts.
fucking hate
It always
that
is,
so
yeah.
I didn't know it was
much.
12 parts. I watched
I'm-
like 5 or 6 parts.
A lot of times I let them all drop before I watch some of them.
No,
man.
that's what I was gonna say. But I feel like every time it pops on my time, like on my YouTube timeline, I want to fucking click it. But like, dude, I can't. Like, I want to just wait till they all come out and then
I
watch it
think
all
they're all
together.
out
No, they're barely.
no,
Oh,
they're
shit,
They're
how
barely.
many parts? There's literally 12.
The one
No,
that dropped
they're-
today
they're on
is him
part
talking
6.
about the gay thing.
I know, I watched that one.
Oh, how was it? I mean, I already asked him about it on the podcast, so it's kind of whatever. But he,
They're barely on like part 6.
Draco
part
just-
7.
No, they're
it's-
part like part 9 or 10.
Draco is somebody that I've known for a long time, but like there's a certain type of conversation that I have with Draco because Draco is Draco, and you just sort of you treat him like this crazy ass rapper dude that like is just in his own fucking universe.
He
and
is.
then it's weird hearing him talk to Vlad because Vlad just treats him like a regular dude, asks him straight up about his court shit and stuff. And I've just never really like asked Draco straight up about shit because I've always like known enough about his cases and shit that I kind of knew he didn't want to talk about it. And like it's fascinating to see Vlad just like lay it out there and be like, all right, talk about this. And like, I mean, he kind of just falls in line and does it.
Yeah, he did.
But I mean, yeah.
It was a very.
What I enjoyed. Sorry, go on.
No.
What I enjoyed most about the interviews was him like reaching to the back of his head to like look for answers.
Yeah, the eye
Like,
roll.
I was like, whoa, that was. I
Yo.
tried that, but it hurts my eyes really
I felt
bad.
that.
He just like involuntarily does that. I don't
Like,
think he's like
any
trying to
question.
disrespect Vlad, but he's just like, and just kind of rolls his eyes in the back of his
He's
head
like-
real quick.
So tell me about growing up in South Central.
Well, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I'm getting them anywhere near where his eyes get to.
It's
like,
like
yeah, so-
you can only see white, and I'm like, God damn, that really.
Because
Fucking
he's
hurt
really
my
thinking
eyes.
about it. He's like he's
reaching
diving back in there.
He's one of the
to
wisest
back
I
of his
never
head.
noticed that until y'all both said that.
Dude,
Right now.
I could not stop looking at it. I'm like, holy fuck.
You guys are reminding me of like the fucking no jumper comments, just pointing out the most random shit that I wouldn't even think
It's not
about.
very random when he does it every 5 seconds.
I love
Oh,
that.
no.
That's
I was
my
just-
favorite thing about reading the comments. It pisses me off that I don't see the chat during this, and then
I know,
like
huh?
I know what's going on, but I'm not gonna rewatch the whole podcast to just see what's going on.
I know, right?
Hell no.
In the chat. So
No, honestly, reading the comments puts me in check about a lot of things. Like, oh my god, he says fucking like. He says the word like every 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, all right, maybe I do. They're like, you're fucking digging in your nose, and blah, blah. I'm like, all right.
whenever
I gotta-
people
They
call
love
me out for
sending-
that, they'll say like, "Oh, Adam says like interesting after everything everybody says." I'm like, you realize there's only so many things I can say after somebody
Cool.
says something,
Yeah.
and I know what I say because I see people fucking comment about it, and I have watched a lot of my interviews back, and it's like I'm super analytical about what I say as a follow up. It's just at a certain point, there's only so many things you can say, and interesting seems like a sort of acceptable one.
It's way better than all right, cool, or like I don't
Yeah.
know. There's only so many words like that are synonyms of interesting.
Yeah, it's weird because people from New York, like they always say, like that's facts, but you do it too.
Oh,
but Black
man.
Dave does it too. Like
Yeah.
that's
Or
facts.
on God.
Yeah, it is kind of
real.
I feel like it's better to say something sort of simple than to say something that's like
Too
more complicated that like really stands out in their head. Like, okay, do you ever listen to the Daily, the New York Times podcast that has the news every day? His thing, he just says,
It's because you're looking for something that's like a transition to go into the next question.
Because then at a certain point, you don't want the people watching to just feel like they're listening to this person rattle on. Like
Yeah.
it has to still feel like an interview with you. And some people, like Rico Reckless is a really good example, will just talk forever, and it stops feeling like it's an interview with me. It's just like
A
him
rant.
going on. Big Body Best was the best one for.
Oh, man, I love
he
that.
just went off, and I just had to find little tiny spots to hop in with a follow up question because I could have let him just talk for 3 days.
No, that's why I love the Rio one so much, because it was like I feel like I've been listening to this man's music for so long. I know little things about him, but it was like, dude, this like everything was right out on the table, and like you barely had to do anything. You barely had to just throw him the alley oop a little bit.
Yeah,
Didn't he get emotional at one point?
not really. PP Cocaine
a-
cried.
I didn't even know you knew. I didn't even know you knew who she was.
Oh, I've been playing.
She's super viral
When
though.
she first came out, I was playing her nonstop in this office. I got everybody real excited about it.
What song was that? Was
It
this
was
song?
the DDLG, that video with 5 million girls. I bet you've done coke with every girl in that video.
I've never seen that video, so I
You
don't know.
haven't?
No, let's see.
It's basically like straight up fucking porn. It's crazy.
After we're off, play it for me for sure.
Is
Oh,
that
man.
the one that starts off with like trap bunny?
I think they all. Those are
That,
all
That's like her
songs?
thing that she
That's like all her
says,
songs.
Oh, that's
right?
like her like.
What does
alias
she
or
have tatted
something?
on her eyes?
Trap Bunny.
It's fire.
But her original rap name is Trap Bunny Bubbles.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
that's like
I like
what she
PP
says.
cocaine better. What does PP mean?
I asked her that. What did she say?
Like
Pretty
pee-pee?
Princess? I forget.
Pretty
I-
Princess
Is she still
cocaine.
dating that one person,
Who?
Hmm.
the artist?
Who do you think
No.
that she's dating?
Yeah, who do you think?
We don't know of her to be dating anyone.
I don't know. I don't want to misgender.
Just
But
go
the
ahead, lay it on the
Next
table.
youngin or whatever that she's in all the videos with and
Yeah.
stuff. That no, they're not dating according to her. I don't
Oh.
know, but they certainly look like they could be dating from time to time.
I
But
thought they were.
I
She
asked
seemed
her
very
about that, and she
nervous.
said no.
She seemed very nervous.
PP.
Yeah.
She was really nervous.
Does she like being called that? PP?
I don't know, but cocaine sounds horrible as
Yeah.
well. PPC. What
It's
am
like,
I-
yeah, so cocaine.
yeah, but I mean, and
How did
she,
you
That's
start-
your name.
when I assumed that the name meant like urine and cocaine,
Yeah,
like
peop-
that was a reference.
I know.
Like she seemed like she thought that was pretty funny. That in my old ass brain, that's what I thought.
I mean, that's kind of what it
That's
sounds
what
like.
I mean, that's
thought
what I
it
would think
was.
almost everybody, if you were to try to break it down, it'd be like, oh, maybe she's into like water sports, like she likes getting peed on or something like that. That's what
Maybe she likes to piss on her cocaine before she snorts it.
I feel like. There's a lot of girls out
Did you
there.
ask her? Did you ask her? Does she actually do cocaine?
She said no, but she did for a period of time, I believe.
Okay, I respect that.
I believe she has done it, but
Has she peepeed?
I think she's pee-peed.
I think she probably does that every day.
Planned Parenthood cocaine.
Have you heard? Have you heard the new Kodak Black album? I really liked it.
It's stuff they recorded before he went in, or what?
Yeah, probably. Oh, the first song is just put me right in the feels. I was on ecstasy the other day listening to this.
This
I was
guy's
fucking-
nuts.
What's the day after like when you do ecstasy at this point in your life?
I mean, honestly, if you get some good, clean drugs, I felt completely fine. I went right to sleep. Woke up.
Was that last night?
No, this was on like Friday or something. I woke up Saturday morning, afternoon, like 12 p.m.
Every
felt
time
fine.
I ever did ecstasy in my entire life, it immediately became a race to get more fucked up.
Oh,
Like, we
yeah,
gotta
that's
find
one.
alcohol, we gotta find coke.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
a
like
fine-
I
that's a
couldn't
fine.
really tell you what the come down from ecstasy is like because every
you
time
start
I
doing
did it,
everything
I did
else.
a whole shit
I know.
of
Why
other
does
things.
why does that do that? You're right. Because we.
I think it's because you guys are crazy.
We're psychos. Well,
And
we
crackheads.
were. I used to be. Somebody might still be. But
I mean, just know that was the most calm night of ecstasy I've ever. Like, I picked this girl up from the airport. We went and hung out with Lucas, and these girls. We like hung out. We took ecstasy and literally just chilled in his living room and just like talked for a little bit, and then we all went home at like 2 a.m.
this is me talking on ecstasy like, oh, wow, you're from Korea? That's crazy. Korea, that's like on the other side of the world. Wow, what else?
I mean, it was kind of like that, but we were just like talking about
I
all our
talk
careers
way
and
too
shit.
much when I'm on ecstasy, bro. Like, it's embarrassing.
Think about how much more, because think about how much you talk now.
Yeah, you kind of do talk a lot now. I mean, that's kind of your whole job is you talk.
No, I
Has
come on
anyone-
here and I talk a lot, but the entire rest of the time that I'm, well, I guess I can't say that.
But
I'm kind
ha-
of like intermittently, like totally silent
We
and
should
then
do it-
talking a lot when I'm in here.
We should do an ecstasy
Molly,
podcast.
I'm too scared. My mouth goes too crazy.
You got to put a
We
mask
really
on.
like talked about doing a Zan podcast back in the day,
good
and
on
it
that.
totally seemed like a decent idea.
Back then, that would have been fire.
Back then, the channel was smaller and stuff. I feel like doing that now, like I'm definitely not doing ecstasy.
I think that if you did that, NLE Choppa would have hit you
Oh,
up
God.
and asked you if your label should check on you.
My video about NLE Chop is coming out soon, so
NLE
Sure.
Chakra.
it's about his transformation. It's about some of the things that he's said that has caused him to get videos deleted off of YouTube. I'm talking about NLE Chop. I'm talking about what makes him great, but I'm also calling his ass out. So
Is he being a hypocrite in some forms?
I wouldn't say he's being a hypocrite. I would say that maybe his mind is a little too open and he's taking in a little bit
Too much information.
too much stuff, and he might want to be a little bit more careful with what he's sort of
I think
going for.
I think ignorance is bliss, to be honest, because I feel like
wow.
I know too much.
Man, that is more true than ever right now. I think that all the time. Whenever I look at Twitter, I'm like,
I wish I didn't know.
all this politics shit is interesting. I think my life would be better if I didn't know about
Yeah.
it. You know, I think
real.
if I really like didn't know that much, like, it would very much like hinder my ability to be a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
But if my knowledge of Donald Trump was like, yeah, man, I heard that guy's a real asshole. Yeah,
Which is
I
like
know.
most of
Which is like
America.
most
a lot of
people,
people don't like him. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck him, right?
But how out of loop could you be to like not be curious about like the president being a fucking asshole? You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
like how
You
can you
live
not
here.
want to know? You know,
You live
Like,
here. You should
but,
know.
But like me knowing like everything that Trump says and then seeing like 15 different people on my timeline giving their opinions about everything he says,
Yeah.
it's like at a certain point, it's like, do I need this? Anyway.
That's how I feel about
it's,
absorbing so much like rap beef and like random shit. Like
But that in comparison seems pretty simple because like if I were to like scroll through the hot new hip hop like blogs every day, it's kind of like
it's the same shit.
it's easy to like comprehend like all the politics stuff and paying attention to like outrage cycle shit that goes viral on Twitter where it's like, oh, like somebody who works at Bon Appetit magazine is racist. It's
Yeah.
kind of like I'm sitting here reading an article about this for 10 minutes but there's a part of me in my head that is like, this is an article about somebody that you don't know that like wore blackface 30 years ago and like there's really like you so don't need to know about this. Like you're never going to talk to anybody about this. You don't know anybody who knows about this, you know?
I think it's all about taking things in increments. You know what I mean? You can't get too much information about one specific subject because then you're just gonna go fucking crazy.
Yeah. A lot of times I'll see like some kind of controversy brewing online and I'll think to myself like, don't click it. Don't read the tweets.
yeah. Don't
If
read
the New York
replies.
Times writes an article about it, maybe then you can read that. But like, don't drive yourself crazy trying to dig into like reading like 50 quote tweets to figure out what somebody said that was offensive.
Oh man, I used to. This is why Twitter being removed from my life is a good thing because I would be that person. I would go back, find the origin tweet of what the
Yes.
fuck was said, and then
Exactly.
go read every reply. Oh, you could do that now. You could read the quote replies too. Oh man, I would have been having a field day with that.
Yeah, you could click like.
Oh, yeah,
quote
yeah.
reply.
I would be
Yeah,
having
yeah,
a
yeah.
feel-
'Cause
field
if
day
there's
with
a
that.
tweet that's like semi-viral or I see it has 100 quote tweets, it's like, oh, better read 40 of them. Like,
Yeah.
fucking,
Oh,
it's
my God, yeah.
You just want to know what's going on, even though, yeah. I
Not
don't
for real, dude. Like I really think that like some higher being took that stress away from my life. Because I would also just search my own name and just see crazy shit. And just people just like judging you about shit they don't even know what they're talking about. I'm just like, dude, like, fuck Twitter.
It's a cancerous app.
I know. But also
It's
super.
only cancerous if you make it cancerous.
That's true, but then also
The
like
temptation of searching your own name on there is crazy.
I can't search my own name.
you're lucky. It's
Oh, yeah,
such
you're
a
lucky.
place. It's such a place where you really like if you have any kind of stature or fame, you cannot have an opinion that goes outside of the mainstream or like what is considered acceptable within your friend group, because it's just like even me, like I've been so open about not fucking with Trump, but when I say something anti-Trump, it's like I have random conservative accounts that don't follow me coming out of the woodwork to quote tweet me and call me a piece of shit for saying something negative about Trump. So even though like I feel like my bubble of like mostly having followers who probably care about rap music, you would think that like mostly like saying something negative about Trump would be
Just go
all
over
right.
it, yeah.
No. They're coming from my head. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It makes
know,
me
it's-
not want to even say something negative about Trump when, to me, Donald Trump is the easiest person to say anything
Anything bad
negative
about,
about
yeah.
in terms of the most famous and the most obviously flawed person that you can think of. And I'm
the
even
most
kind of
hated.
hesitant to say something negative about him because I know that it's going to bring in all this fucking negativities in my timeline that I kind of don't want to deal with, you know?
Speaking of negative things that they probably don't want to deal with, my boy Famous Dex is going through it right now, man.
That's so true, but I got to pee and I really feel like I kind of want to wrap this up right now.
All right, let's wrap it up then.
I know you don't really want to talk about that.
Two bad bitches pulling up and with me and they're like, hold on. Two bad bitches. Like, what the fuck was that video
Bro,
about?
no, you want to see something that's a real shocker is watch the Famous Dex video that has Trippy in it. And they're like wearing like moon suits
yeah.
and they're on the moon.
Did not click on that. How bad was it?
I mean, it definitely doesn't have any of what made Famous Dex exciting to me in like 2017 or whatever. It was very like,
That
this isn't it.
That is a case of something that did not progress far enough to sustain itself.
And
1000%.
Traveler Ross watched 5 million Famous Dex videos, so I watched him summarize it, and
Yeah.
it's like you could kind of like remember the point where it became
Where
like,
it was hit.
This is just too much. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
He overdid it, you think?
Yeah, he just made way too much music without. But then, like, I don't feel like any of his music that I've heard in recent times is even close to like as good as the stuff he was
Yeah.
putting out at a certain point. But also, his formula was so simple, and he was really getting away with doing a lot of like, what? Yeah,
Told you I was
Dexter.
the man.
Bruh.
Who told you I was a man?
I got a
Who told
coffee
you I
cup.
was a man?
Yeah, I got a coffee cup.
I got lean in my cup. Ooh.
Lean in my coffee cup.
But then like,
It was just.
is Uzi not doing the same thing? But just like,
Nah, Uzi
Uzi be spitting. I got
He's
Uzi
a
fucked
really
up.
good rapper.
Uzi be doing shit.
I got Uzi
And
fucked up.
Actually, I think it was after this stream that I listened to the Future and Uzi tape, and
Okay.
I really like
I
it.
People-
really, it's just, my whole thing when I listened to that was just imagining them being in the same
studio
room, and
together.
I'm not sure if that's exactly how it happened.
I think
It didn't sound like they were in the
No,
same
they
don't
room.
think?
they might have made that together for sure.
Really, for me, it felt like definitely like
They send
I
it back
made
and
this
forth?
open verse thing.
I
right
felt
here.
like this like because they were going back and forth on mad
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I felt like that they would just never make 20 songs together unless they were together. You know,
Yeah,
like,
for
I
sure.
just don't see them sending 20 open verses back and forth and shit. I just felt like they had to be together.
Because I mean, that's how what is it? What a time to
Juice?
be alive
Nah.
was made.
Juice, Drake, right?
I'm gonna be honest. What a time to be alive to me sounds like a bunch of B-sides from Dirty Sprite 2.
Because it was so around that time period that you could
was, like,
imagine
right
that
after.
a lot of those beats were from like the same batch, and like, you know, he was sort of
Like
a
the-
lot of songs that might have been on Dirty Sprite 2, which Dirty Sprite 2 is probably one of the rap albums I've listened to more than any
Than
rap
anything,
album
yeah,
in the
same.
past 10 years.
No, same. No, but that to me felt very like Drake just added verses on a lot of those songs. And maybe they made one or two together.
And at the point where I'm at in my life is like, I want to hear like songs from rappers, you know? It's like, I feel like I want the stuff that I'm listening to from artists to feel like something more than just them both hopping on a track and just doing whatever. Like I'm starting to like, maybe it's like an old thing, but it's like I just want to hear them make more of a hook, do a fucking
Yeah.
bridge, make it an actual song. Like
No,
that
for
kind
sure.
of makes me excited to hear rappers go more in that direction at this point.
I'm gonna be honest with that album. It took me a minute to sit on it. Like when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is okay," like whatever. But after I started to listen back to it again and again and again, I was like, "Yo, this
There's
is actually
certain
really
songs
good."
That like
Some of
really-
them are kind of skippable.
really-
I'm gonna be honest. A couple.
Some of them, but like the ones that stand out are like really.
The intro
really
song
fucking
is
good.
fucking beautiful. I got stripes in these streets like Burberry. That shit's hard. I hate that Plastic song. That song sucks.
Yeah, I gotta listen to it
one
more.
was
All right, I gotta piss so
All
bad.
right,
My
y'all.
penis head's about to pop off.
This has been No Jumper, the coolest fucking
wait,
podcast in
wait.
the world. Me and Cam Girl are streaming in 30 minutes. Come back here, youtube.com/NoJumper. Follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Housephone. Do not follow Cam Girl, even though I already beat her.
Cup.